Ladies and gentlemen, we are live with this particular episode of the Comic Hall Roundtable Discussion. This is the end of the year edition. My name is Al Rainey. I will be your host for the time being. With me, I have my esteemed colleagues Vincent Garrett and
Hello.
Antonio Coleman. How are y'all doing this evening?
Fantastic.
Doing good, doing good.
Great, great. It's good to see you both here this evening. We hope to have a full house tonight. Larry Crocker, Matt Odom, he is about to log in a little bit, join us. The Raymonds, I think he's somewhere in the Netherlands, man, looking for Sasquatch because I hadn't seen that Joker, man, in like 3-4 months, man. I'm talking about milk carton, like, have you seen me type deal. So, well, then if you
Grinding
are
hard right
live,
now. Grinding.
1-800 the lost, please, sir, because we don't know where you are. Xavier Roundel's going to join us as well. We have a pretty good show for tonight. We're going to freestyle it this evening since this is the last episode for. Before we get started, we want to thank each and every person that's watching. We want to give you a deep thank you from the bottom of our hearts. You know, we kind of flip flop on our days and times and whatnot, but we have a faithful few that tune in to us whenever we're online, and we do have a viewership, and we do appreciate you all, and we thank you very much. Before we get started, anybody want to say anything in particular before we get into the nitty gritty?
I'll
Make it
say
happen, man.
it's been real. I mean, granted, I haven't been on that often due to work and daddy life and all that other good stuff, but it's been real. I appreciate y'all having me on and keeping me, I guess, in the circle, even though I haven't been really active the last couple times. So I appreciate it. And everybody, like you said, I echo everybody who watches and stuff and adds comments and all that other good stuff. So appreciate it.
Dude, I would be remiss to say that we are not, if we are not family in some kind of way, then we aren't family. So we all have a common bond. We talk about it outside of the show. So yeah, that's how I see you all. So TC, you want to say something, man?
Yeah, man. I'm just say this, man. It's been an interesting year. It's been an awesome year for comics, movies, anime, whatever else you want to toss in there as far as what we've been covering. And I'm glad to be part of the team.
Good, good, good. And again, I am glad that everyone that's involved is part of the team, and I'm pretty sure Matt is as well. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start on our first topic. As Matt likes to say, the elephant in the room. As everyone knows, or everyone that might know that watches the show, or is this adept with pop culture and everything. Disney, the juggernaut that is Disney, has made attempts to purchase a portion of Fox Studios. Basically, the ramifications of that, if you all are not aware, is that there is a great possibility that the X-Men properties for the Fantastic Four may be joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which in most cases makes most of us geeks and nerds gleeful with joy and squeal like schoolgirls. Um, the possibilities is endless in reference to this particular piece of news. Before we actually started the show, I know TC indicated that there should be some type of word given in reference to the deal sometime this week. Is that correct, TC?
Yeah, yeah. It's supposed to be at the basically said at the end of this week. They're supposed to announce something as far as like how far along they're in the deal. Um, the deal is still at the rumored amount right now at $60 billion is what the acquisition is going to be. That's B with a billion.
Gotta put the
Billion
pinky up.
dollars.
Yeah. They're supposed to get Fox TV and the movie studio portion of it, and basically Fox is just going to be left with the news and sports. With their as far as once everything is done, the deal is done on there for it. Uh, Disney's supposed to get their part of a cut of Hulu as far as with the ownership in it, and like you said earlier, X Men, Fantastic Four, and I didn't realize, but 20th Century Fox is going to be part of that as well with the movie deal. So that means they're going to get Avatar and Planet of the Apes as well. I didn't even think about that.
Jeez. Well, hopefully
But
they don't
yeah,
have to
they're
touch the
going to get
Planet of the
that too.
Apes thing anytime soon, because I mean that just
Yeah,
wrapped up. Yeah.
yeah, they're getting they're getting a lot of content out of it. So
I mean, for what you paying, I hope so.
yeah, I mean,
Yeesh.
60 billion goes a long
A
way.
long way, man.
A mighty long way. So, well, fellas, well, if y'all want to expound on that, Vince, well, I mean, what are your thoughts about that? Because I didn't realize that Disney would be acquiring that much media. So they're getting all the television stations, with the exception of, you said the news, right?
News and
Right.
the sports. That's what
News
it
and
said. Yeah.
sports
News and
is going to
sports.
stay. Yeah.
Jesus,
I mean,
that's
but they get a
FX.
lot of
That's
money with the sports anyway because I mean all the NFL games.
Right.
right.
Typically, I know they compete with like ABC when they like the World Cup and all that stuff. And basically, when I watch my season, because I'm a soccer watcher, for European stuff, they are on all the Fox channels, so they get paid out the butt with that. So they're not hurting with that. And like you, I didn't realize that it was like that. I mean, it's a serious monopoly. Disney is out there just robbing all of the nerds from their the lunch money, and and basically it was like either you gonna join us or we just gonna run you over, and that's basically what's happening with that. But that's crazy. I like today. I didn't even know that the figure that went with that, but that's crazy.
That is insane, as Matt Odom would actually say. So let me ask the panel this. So in reference to that, we have found out, or we are in the process of realizing that Disney is pretty much about to own half of media for the most part. I
Yeah.
mean, with everything they have ABC and the Go Networks, ESPN. They own the Jim Henson Company. They own Marvel Entertainment. They own
Lucas,
what else?
Star Wars,
Oops.
everything.
Yep.
Everything Star Wars. Everything Star Wars. Not only that, but they own their properties, Disney, Mickey Mouse, and those gangsters with him, Minnie and Donald and everybody else. The ramifications behind that, of course, is major because, we've talked about Disney actually running their own streaming service. So if this particular merger was to take place, it would have, excuse my French, but a hell of a lot of media to put on their streaming service. Not only just Disney material, but Fox material as well. And that goes way back. So that's an immense catalog. But just fast forwarding to the point that, at hand, uh, do you all think that if this particular merger was to take place immediately, like within the next day or two or maybe week, do you see Marvel Studios actually attempting to do something with the X-Men and the Fantastic Four properties immediately to let everyone know, hey, they're back in the family? Or do you think that they are going to retool some of their phase 4 movies and try to get something out there to show, that they are back in business with the X-Men, the Fantastic Four? We're going to start with you, Vince. What are your thoughts on that, sir?
I mean, I can see it go both ways, to be honest with you. I mean, there's probably certain. I mean, I don't know what all. I guess movie rights to certain characters that they'll end up getting with that deal. I think with that, there might be some properties where it'll be easy just to shoe into the Phase 4 type of films, without having to retweak what they've already done up to this point. And I think that would be really smart for them to do wherever they can do that. Now, speaking of like Fantastic Four, they need to. I wouldn't say come straight out the gate with that, but they need to do something with that, like yesterday, because we're hurting for a good Fantastic Four movie, and with the, I guess the realm of possibilities with where the Marvel Cinematic Universe is actually at, especially with space and all the other crap, and it would be dumb of them not to do that. And I'm pretty sure they're pretty smart. Obviously, pretty smart. And I think that would probably be one of the first properties that they actually just put out a new movie and just be like, hey, we got it. It's in safe hands now. You know, borderline like what they did, even though Sony Marvel deal or Disney deal, whatever, with Spider-Man, that wasn't automatically like, oh, we got them. But obviously, joint ventures do work if done properly. So I mean, it all depends on the characters that they want to go, and I mean, we see where they're going, and I mean, there could be some movies that could just get totally shifted out of the next phase and phase after that. I mean, so they can actually redo, some kind of X-Men feature, because we all know Fox really screwed the pooch on a lot of the X-Men movies, especially the latest, I guess, iteration of them for the most part. But it can go anyway, to be honest with you. There's too many unknown variables because, I mean, as TC already said, that I mean, they're getting so much. Like the possibilities are really, really endless. And I mean, they have a lot of brain power and smart people that are putting things together, as we already seen, as far as what they've brought up to this point. I mean, endless possibilities, bro. I got nothing. I got nothing, really.
No biggie, no biggie. TC, what are your thoughts on it, sir?
I mean, to be honest with you, man, I have a lot of high hopes for it because, as we've seen in the past, Fox is kind of, or not Fox, excuse me, but Disney has made trial and error with their movies, so they know what will work and what won't work as far as with their movies and how it goes, and what people want to see. I mean, what the fans want to see. And I think they've got a, as they say, they got their hand on the pulse of the nerd world as far as with what we want to see in that situation. So, I mean, I have a lot of confidence in it. I wonder how they're going to take the approach as far as what they're going to do with the show. Are they with the X-Men or with the Fantastic Four? Is it going to be something where we just simply see a new reboot altogether with new cast, new characters, or are they going to try to continue on from any kind of storyline that they've done in the past, uh, as far as with the movies in the past on there for? Because they already saying that they're already working on the Dark Phoenix movie, which that's slated to come out on there for. So I mean, if this deal goes through, does that mean that this is going to go back and be redone, or is it going to be left as is and it's just going to be put out? I mean, are we going to see a new person playing Deadpool, or is it still going to be Ryan Reynolds going to be playing Deadpool? So, I mean, it's a lot of things you got to think about, and it's a lot of different directions they can go in there for it. But I mean, I trust them with it. I will say that I do trust them with it.
And I think it would be really dumb to recast Ryan Reynolds,
yeah,
or Deadpool to anybody else, because I mean that role was meant for him, and that's the only thing that kind of sucks with Disney sucking in so much as far as properties. Deadpool does not fit the mold of what Disney puts out because it's Disney. They want to sell those toys, and kids ain't gonna go. I mean, well, they will watch Deadpool, whether if their parents know about it or not. They gonna watch it, but Disney's not gonna put out a Deadpool movie that's supposed to be done properly. So that's the only, I guess, scary bit of some characters that can get sucked into this whole conglomerate of deal, is that will they lose some of their integrity just for the simple fact of what the Disney image is and what it stands for? I mean, I guess we'll just have to wait and see with that one. But
right,
I think in that particular regards, if Disney is going to acquire Fox Studios, I mean, the simple solution would be basically just keep Deadpool there. It's still going to be under the, the Marvel Entertainment / Disney umbrella. It wouldn't soil or taint, so to speak, as far as their squeaky clean image that they try to portray. At the same time, like Vince said, it would pretty much be foolish and redundant for Disney to recast Deadpool. And furthermore, it would be kind of dumb for them to do anything else with Deadpool aside from what Fox has done. It's been proven that he is a box office draw. They allow Ryan Reynolds and his company to continue to do what they're doing. Man, I mean, the possibilities are endless. Of course, we're waiting for this new Deadpool movie. By the way, when is their movie scheduled to come out? Is it next year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's next year.
next year. So, I mean, based on how that does, since the first one was a critical success, Disney may decide to just have a section or wing or division that does, those hard R movies and keep it going. Because, at the end of the day for them, cash rules everything around them. You know what I'm saying? So,
gonna make the money.
Yeah.
Right. It's going to make the money. So at the end of the day, they would kind of be dumb to try to put Deadpool on Disney XD. You know what I'm saying? I mean, leave it as is.
Right now, it's scheduled to come out on June the 1st.
Yeah,
June 1st.
Yeah.
Yeah.
June 1st,
yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, like this on that. I know this might be off topic or whatever. But like, what other like hard R movies could we possibly see? I think we talked about this before, like maybe in the past. But I mean, like, besides like Old Man Logan or whatever, and then Deadpool, like, what could we really see that could fit under that, that umbrella that's a subsect of major Disney? Like, what? I don't know. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, what do you think you could possibly see?
I mean, off the top of my head, X-Force, perhaps. Back when X-Force, before Marvel kind of rebooted everything, X-Force was like a covert, like a Navy SEAL type deal where Cyclops had them go in and kill and murk people that, was giving them problems and stuff. So I can see that being kind of like a hard R. Aside from that, I can't really think of any Marvel properties, aside from, of course, they decided to do Punisher as a, a motion picture. Of course, him. They're supposed to be doing that stupid Jamie Madrox movie for some reason, and I don't understand why Fox decided to do that, but that's supposed to be a hard R, and I'd be hard pressed to go watch that. Those are the only properties that I can think of that would actually receive an R rating. How about you, TC?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting there thinking about it, and the ones you named are pretty much going to be it. I mean, unless they did some stuff like the what's the name of it? Like with the New Mutants that they're doing now. I mean, that's the way they're portraying that. I mean, I could see that going a little bit darker.
Yeah, it looks pretty dark from what we did see.
Yeah, I mean, and they could keep that whole tone, keep it going that way on their forward. So I mean, I don't know if Disney / Marvel would continue that, or would they just say, you know what, we're just going to redo this whole thing from the beginning all over again, and we're not going to sell it to you that way. I mean, that's the question up in the air with the whole thing on their forward. But that's one of them that I was thinking about when I saw that, thinking about that trailer, and I'm like, well, what happens to it now if this deal goes through? Is it something that's going to be scrapped and redone, or what?
True.
I think they'll allow for whatever movies that are in development with Fox to go through, and I think that may be one of the reasons why Fox decided that they were going to do well, then again, we don't know how long they've actually been talking. They could have actually been in talks for weeks or months, and it just became public. So, but it could be the reason why they're moving forward with the X-Men movie, the Dark Phoenix, as well as the Madrox movie and the New Mutants movie. Matt, thank you for joining us, sir. I know you said 1 sec, so I'm gonna leave you be for the time being until you get straight. I thought about Moon Knight be another property that could possibly go for a hard R, especially since Netflix is going to be able to do a show.
I mean, they could still do a
taking the ball
service.
and running with it.
They could still do a streaming show of it, and then you still got Blade and Ghost Rider that you could do shows on there as well. So
how about them too?
But I mean, they already own
Blade now. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they already own Blade right now, and they're not doing anything with it.
Yeah. Well, Wesley is petitioning, so
too old for
his
that
old
man.
ass. Let's do an old man.
He's supposed to get older. That's the hard part with vampire shows, man. Is the characters get old, and you ain't supposed to age as a vampire.
You not. I mean, granted,
Right.
he's a heavy, but I mean, like, still, bro, you old, man. Wesley need them checks. That's what he need. He need them
Yeah,
checks.
yeah, that's what. Gotta
Right.
pay them taxes.
Yeah, I know, right?
I think he can still roundhouse kick somebody, but
I'm pretty sure he can.
anyway.
I was watching him in Demolition Man the other day. I'm like, he ain't changed not a
Simon
bit.
Phoenix, man.
Yep. Murder, death, kill, bro.
Oh man.
Oh,
So moving right along till we get some more people in the group, we're gonna jump gears on something. It's something that I've been wanting to talk about for the longest, but my man Vincent hadn't been on. We enjoy. You're good, sir. That's why we have the hall, the separate group that we're in. But since we are live, we are going to talk about something that we like to talk. Well, we like to watch for the most part, and that's anime. So, you all may or may not know, but you know we have eclectic taste in everything. Some of us collect. Well, all of us collect comics. We collect action figures, video games, the whole nine. But we have a common thread in anime as well. We've had a top 10 in animes that we've been watching. At least all three of us that's currently on the panel is Dragon Ball Super. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not watching Dragon Ball Super, let me tell you something. What's wrong with you? I'm kidding. No, there's nothing wrong with y'all. It might be, but nah, I'm just playing.
they're
But
doing themselves
Dragon Ball
a serious disservice by not watching.
But now you got to think. Now you got to think. A lot of people still watch it on Cartoon Network, waiting for the dubs to come
They're
out.
so behind though, just because they
They
don't
are.
want to read subtitles. That's
Yeah,
lazy.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But we pretty much have not really talked about anime that much. But so what we're going to do, we're going to take a few minutes at a time. We're not going to take long because we have our theme leader and host, Matthew Odom. And how are you this evening, sir?
Looking all spiffy.
I'm on my best Ernar Shyster impression.
Oh my God. He looks like he just came from Sunday school on a Wednesday night.
You're about to argue.
Got that Bible study.
I mean, you were cleaning in the bill of health, man. Did you repo somebody's car?
No, I was at a Christmas party night, man.
Woo, shuck it, duck it, quack, quack.
Hey, look here.
Okay.
I was listening in on. I couldn't get on while I was in the car, so I was listening in, and I want to hit on something that y'all just talked about, if you don't mind. If that's okay with the panel. Brother Coleman, do I have your permission, my friend?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Look, let's just get down to the monkey in the room. We talked about, now I hate Larry's not on, but we talked about this today earlier at Will's store. There are no more excuses for, as far as Marvel goes with me, there is no more excuses. There's no more excuses. There's no more, we can't do this because we don't have this. We can't, there's no excuses to say we cannot do this. We cannot put this in a movie. You own everything. All right? You own it. First thing they need to do, they need to right the ship. They must fix the Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four must be fixed. There must be no storm clouds. We must actually see this man Galactus now. We must have a solid X-Men movie. We must have a solid X. There's no excuse. There's no more, we can't do X-Force because of this. Basically, what Marvel has done is they have future-proofed comic book movies for the next 20 years. At least 20 to 30 years. That's if they play their cards right. Me and Larry, we were all talking today, and we were talking about how basically you've got an opportunity to actually come out with good movies with good storylines now. All right. There's no excuse whatsoever for Marvel to I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You spend all this money. It's just like when Vince McMahon bought out WCW. That's on you if you botch it up. If you botch it up now, it's on you. I'm excited for it. I think we can finally get a proper X-Men movie. And I really hope they don't botch this thing up, man. I just, I really hope that for that sake, for the industry's sake, that they don't botch this up, man. So that's all I had on that.
I concur.
You know what?
You feel better, Matt? I mean, it seemed like you had some pent up.
No, I just, if you're going to make that kind of a move, for years, let's just be frank. I mean, for years we had people going, well, we can't make this movie because we don't have this. We can't include this person in the movie because we don't have the rights to it. Well, now you got the rights to it. I mean, just think about it. You can actually do an Avenger, proper X-Men versus Avenger. You can do, somebody brought it today at the comic book store, the Secret Wars. So you've got avenues to come up with stuff now. What I don't want to see is people going, oh, well, man, we can't do that because we don't have the boundaries are now limitless with them. I mean, you can say Hulk and Namor, but I mean, at some point, you're going to get them. I mean, within the next 5 years, you'll have them. So, I mean, it's just really now just taking advantage of the opportunities that are in front of them. I mean, I made a prediction today at the comic book store. I won't be surprised if we don't see the West Coast Avengers at some point. I mean, I really think that that's a possibility. The Mighty Avengers. I mean, you got so many, you can go so many places now. And I don't know if y'all touched on Infinity Wars tonight or not, but I mean, it's like I told Larry. We seen the trailer. We saw Iron Man and Captain America. We don't know if anybody's gonna die. So you got a possibility of keeping these characters around and building them with other factions. Also, with them not putting Samuel Jackson in his movie, that brings back an opportunity for them to take him and build another Avengers at some point. So all of that's in play. And with them getting that kind of acquisition from Fox, now you can bring people that probably will sit on the Fox side up on the right. You can slap them into the Avengers, and now you got stuff that you can work with. So I mean, it's just kind of just different. They can really do a lot of damage, man, as far as putting out good movies. And I just really hope that they take advantage of it. That's what I'm saying. That's just don't do the Capcom. Just don't do that. Just don't do the Capcom, and you'll be all right. Or the EA.
Gotcha.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have heard from Deacon Odom tonight, and the skinny as he does so well. But yeah, I agree with you, man. I mean, when it comes down to it, there are no excuses. If this particular acquisition is to come to fruition, the ball is in their court. So basically, for them to do the right thing, which I think they will, because as I indicated earlier, cash rules everything around us. And if they want to maximize their dollar, I think they're gonna, once this particular merger, I actually see them doing reshots of at least Infinity War 2 goes through. I think they'll be willing to rewrite and do some reshoots for that movie, just to try to tease some type of intro to the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. So it's possible. But anything else you wanted to add in reference to that, Matt?
I'll just say, like, they can stop using the word enhance now. Just call it what they are.
Right.
call a mutant a mutant, bro. I'm sorry. I'll be happy to hear that.
Right. So, hopefully they'll be able to go ahead and make everything right, try to retcon some stuff, use one of them Infinity Stones to bring the X-Men and the Fantastic Four into the fold. So, we'll see. We'll see. On to the next topic. We're gonna go over this. We mentioned that we watch anime. So we basically have been watching, or most of us have been watching, Dragon Ball Super. So the last episode came on this past Sunday, which is episode 119. And as Vincent was stating earlier, if you have not been watching this particular anime, you are it's an extreme disservice. Whatever reservations that you have about Dragon Ball Z, you need to take those out of your mind. Take them to the nearest refuse or trash bin. Trash. This particular show actually it eclipses Dragon Ball Z and GT in a way it has breathed new life into show. Vince, what are your current thoughts on Dragon Ball Super, sir?
Like we mentioned earlier, thoughts. I mean, it's far superior to what has been put out before. I echo what you said as far as if anybody has reservations. I mean, give it like a good 20 episodes. I mean, if you aren't hooked, at least within the first 20. I mean, granted, if you watch like Resurrection F with when they bring Golden Frieza and all that stuff back, some of the stuff might be repetitive, but one of the main things that I would say is, and I just said it like 20 minutes ago, that the storytelling is a whole lot better. They're not spending 3 to 4 episodes just on a power up. I mean, the way that the arc is right now and what led up to this point, time is of the essence. They don't have the luxury of like, oh, let me full max, power up, and it's going to take 2 months to do it. No. It's action straight to the point. I mean, there's, the I forgot what that arc was called, but it was when was it, Universe 6 and 7, when they were doing the little pre-fight tournament or whatever the case may be. Great fight scenes, great dialogue between the characters from different universes. I mean, I honestly don't have much negative to say about the current reiteration of this show. I mean, granted, there's some annoying characters, especially in the Tournament of Power, but hey, if you watch it and you're current up, a lot of those annoying characters are gone. Mainly, what was it, Universe 2, with all their love, and yeah, it was really annoying. But I love the show. It's great. I mean, last episode, I think me and I was talking. If it was, I think it was meant to be a filler, but it still had substance, which is very rare to find in anime when an episode is meant to be a filler in between like the major fights, because it really wasn't a major fight. It started off, Vegeta was throwing those hands because of what happened on the last episode, and then it just kind of teetered off, but it still had a point to it and something major happened in it. But it wasn't like with your typical fillers. But I love it. I mean, I'll punch somebody in the throat if they say anything otherwise. That's just my personal opinion, but I love it. So, I mean, Al, I'm pretty sure agrees on some points of what I just said, minus punching people in the throats, probably. But I love it. It's great. Watch it. If you don't watch it anyway, and you'll be happy about it.
Oh, a step further from the throat chop. I would do more than that. I mean, everyone is entitled to their opinion, but I would probably be hard pressed to just choke slam you on a stack of bricks. The show's that good. I know Matt hadn't really watched it that much, but TC, you have watched it considerably. What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, it's up there with like top all time shows as far as with anime. And like you said, I will agree that it is better than Z and GT. I mean, GT to me was probably the worst one, but it is better than Z. Uh, and like Vince hit on, it's really, the characters are really interesting. I mean, even the ones that are stupid, like you said from Universe 2, they're interesting characters, and you get to know them, and you get like a little background story on them. But they don't take a long time to develop that character. You pretty much, once they come on screen and you see what they're fighting about, you just completely understand. It's not like, oh well, I don't really understand why this person's doing this, that, or the other, X, Y, Z, ABC, anything like that. But you understand all the characters on there, and like I said, a lot of them are gone now, and a lot of them it's just like I want to see these characters back, and I can almost tell at the end that they're gonna be wished back. That's what I'm thinking with the
That one
Super
makes
Dragon
sense.
Balls. That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna wish all the universes back, and basically, it's gonna be Goku probably winning the thing as usual, and he's gonna wish it back just so he can fight these guys again because that's just Goku. He lives for the fight,
Yeah.
and I can see that happening very easily. But yeah, I mean the storyline's been real good. It's gotten emotional a few times because I know when we
Hmm.
all when Master Roshi when I thought he was gone, man. Let me tell you, man. Somebody was chopping some hard ass onions on that day, man. I was like, whoa.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I mean, it's really because I mean you've grown up knowing these characters and you get attached to them on there, so you have a sense or a background on everybody as far as the regular characters. You got a sense or a background where you got an attachment to a lot of them on there. For
And that's something that I could agree on. But I'll say this, and I'm gonna ask Vince a question before we move on. Um, they've not only set it up. Uh, this is how I see it. That Master Roshi, of course, that tugged at the heartstrings. Have so much going on with this tournament. The whole combination, the interaction with Gohan and Piccolo, it's like you see those memes where they talk about
Him being his dad.
right, and you see that in the show. It's like, good, this dude, he's more of a father to Gohan than
yeah,
Goku is. I
Well,
mean, this
Goku's
last
been
episode,
dead.
but I know, but I'm saying though, he ain't been dead forever.
No, that's true.
Like, I mean, the whole like this last episode, man, where he just everything he blocked Gohan. He blocked this. He prevented this from happening and stuff. I'm like, man, this dude is he's I'm starting to question, like, okay, what's going on between Piccolo and Chi Chi? Because
I'm about to
this is
say,
some crazy stuff.
Milkman.
But apparently he them making milk or something. But it's like they the show itself has had, especially for this tournament, man, it's been an investment as far as them building characters. Like TC said, not only the Master Roshi, like I said, Gohan and Piccolo, the whole issue with Goku and this Ultra Instinct thing, and even with Universe 2, even though they were really irritating, the Ribrianne and all that kind of stuff,
They were powerful
man, when
though.
they got erased, huh?
I won't say they were powerful though, even though they were annoying. They were powerful though.
Yeah, they were powerful, and even before they actually, when they got erased, a hard lump in my throat. I'm like, I don't even
yeah,
care about these characters. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But the
You felt
show is
bad
done
about it.
so. You felt really bad about it because they were like,
Yeah,
they took it like a G. We still love everybody, peace,
Yeah,
and I mean they about to get wiped out of existence.
they
You
had the
know,
yeah,
balls to let their people know though. That's the G stuff right there. It's like, you know what? Everybody else keeping secrets.
right?
They like, yo, we about to go over here, go holler at these homies real quick. We gonna let you watch us bust some butt real quick and hope everything go work out. But they were like, nah, didn't work out. Heart sign, peace. And they
Right.
yeah,
rolled.
And you sitting there like, okay, this is crazy. And then even with Khalifa, with Kale, them, it was the same thing. You know, you knew you were rooting for Goku to win, but when he beat him, it's like, wow,
But it
that's
was the
it for them.
way that they went out though, like the father son,
yeah,
Yeah,
actual father son combo that did it. You know, it made it okay, but not really okay because
yeah,
you're gonna miss that dynamic between Beerus and his brother. Like that
right.
dynamic is totally different, especially like was it Chomp or whatever. He be yelling at everybody like, "Yo, do one thing, then he'll double back." And I mean that dynamic is just missing from the tournament of power since Universe 6 is gone. And then
Right.
the whole that's why Vegeta was throwing those hands because the student, even though he don't want to admit it, that's a student. You know, I mean, I was all like, I'm not. Don't look at the TV. Don't look at the TV. I wasn't ready for it. I was like, I can't. Nope. Don't choke up. I was like, smart cutting. Like TC said, smart cutting some onions, man. There's some seriously heartfelt moments. Man, I would say this arc has had so many whoa, did that just happen type moments that make you just am I really getting like this about an anime?
A cartoon.
You know what I'm saying? I'm 30. Well, how old am I? 34 years old, bugging out, spazzing out about Goku and Gohan throwing those waves. And I mean, I would say the arc before this, when Goku went blue with the Kaioken joint, that joint had me litty. I was like, man, I felt like I was in 8th grade again. It was awesome. But whatever. I don't know. It's awesome. Yeah. You said you had a question. I don't know if you ever got to the question that you was going to ask me, because we started talking about everything else. But
I was about to ask this, and then we're going to turn it over to Matt. Basically, just for the viewer's sake, you seem to be the resident anime expert within the group amongst the brethren. So,
I wouldn't go that far.
2018, aside from Dragon Ball Super, are there any particular anime that you like to recommend to our viewers to watch?
I feel like I'm gonna let them down today, because like we talked about, I'm as you said, the resident anime watcher out of the group, I guess you would say. But I'm going back and watching some, I guess, pivotal iconical type anime, and with my Naruto going on right now. But I would say the Juni Taisen, I think that's what it is, but it's the Zodiac Wars. I think that's still going on right now. It's probably not going to be it's not a 2018 title that's coming out, but that one is really good. I started watching that one. I'm 4 episodes into that. Action pack. I mean, blood, gore, fighting. It's just along the same lines of a shonen. So basically DBZ and Super and all of the stuff. So that's one I would highly recommend. I started Black Clover. It's really interesting. You just got to get past one of the main characters yelling throughout the whole episode. It's kind of annoying, but it's still pretty good. I'll have to double back and probably put something out for everybody that may want to know. So if you want to know some of the hot anime, just leave a comment, and I'll gladly get back to everybody. It's not an issue. I just been kind of on my Naruto, mood right now, just trying to get everything done and stuff with that. But that's all I got.
Like I said, man, that's Shippuden, boy. You really catch the feels with that, man. I'm telling you, I almost cried.
I was about to cry last night, bro.
Man, I them onions, man. Somebody was chopping red and yellow onions on one of them episodes.
The Valdalia onions, boy. I'm sweet.
I kid you not. TC, you like to add anything, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm not nowhere near expert on anime.
Yeah, I like to watch it, but but that's pretty much it for that particular segment. Matt, you want to go ahead and take it over for us, sir?
You got to tap me in, man. I'm on the ropes. You got to tap me in. There we go. We're in. All right. So let's get to, and I purposely did not say anything to anyone on this panel about what I'm about to go into, but this is going to be one of those epic rants. This is going to be an epic one. What you saw Sunday night is desperation of the highest quality. The Walking Dead, y'all thought y'all had me. Y'all thought Matt was gonna fall for the okie doke. And guess what? I saw it coming. You know that this show is Carl has been bitten by a zombie, but the show has been bitten by a zombie. It's dying a slow death. It's the same way he is. And people are like, oh man, I didn't see that coming. But you know what I'm hearing in the streets? I'm not hearing that people really care. You know why? Because Will brought this up at the store today. When y'all killed off Glenn, well, see, this is the argument. You kill off Glenn, but you kill off Carl. Why not kill off Carl and leave Glenn on the show? It would have been for much more better theater if you did it earlier. Well, you know what? You lost half of the people that watched the show stopped watching last season. Tony will tell you this. Hold on just a second. Tony will tell you this. I have not watched an episode since last season. I only knew what happened because I said, oh, well, let me see what happens since it was the mid-season finale. Let me see what's going on. And I Googled it and saw what happened. I mean, I saw no one talking about it on Facebook. Now, I could be wrong. I didn't see anybody talking about it on Facebook. My normal circle of friends who I talked to, they hadn't talked about it anywhere. Tony didn't call me and say, hey, man, did you just see that, man? They're going to kill off Carl. No, he didn't say anything about it. It flopped. This is an example of what not to do. If you'd have took out Negan, you might would have got some attention. You probably got some folks looking like, okay, well, but you would have took Rick out, you might have had some folks looking. But y'all go get one of the characters that people cannot stand already, and you kill him off. That's basically like just saying, okay, yeah. So people have cheered. You get him off. It's like the kid on the string. Kill him off. Kill him off. Get him out. Nobody cares. That does not work with the character that people already cannot stand. Had you had Daryl get bit, people might would have said, okay, well, that's a little on the drastic side. We definitely didn't see that coming. But Daryl is on that same type of if you touch him, it's the same way when folks got Glenn. So if you touch Daryl, you know the ratings going down the toilet. I mean, Daryl is probably the most popular person on the show. I mean, depending on who you talk to. So I don't know. Let me tell you, it's not working for me. I'm not going to try to figure this out. I'm not even going to try to analyze this thing. I just, from the outside in looking, this is desperation. This is, you are playing WCW versus the world, and you got Goldberg, and somebody is about to win the match, and all you got is a spear, and you just hope that you can connect. You just hope that you can connect and get the 1, 2, and 3 with the no kick out. You just hope you can get some out of it. They were reaching, and their hands weren't quite long enough. And so they went over the cliff, Thelma and Louise style. Over the cliff.
Dang.
And so, I mean, we'll see. Look at the ratings. And we're going to find out when the ratings number comes. Has anybody seen the numbers? I mean, like I said, I don't think people even care because the people I'm talking to are not even acknowledging it. It's failed. The show is done, man. The Walking Dead, like I told you, the show, not only has this child been bit, but the show has been bit. And it's a slow death. I'm talking like that lady that was on in that movie, The Dawn of the Dead, the second one when they was in there, and that fat woman got bit, and it just drug, and then eventually it changed. They're gonna have to do something drastic. And I'm not talking about this right here. They've got to get some action on that show. That show is so slow now. And the people are like, well, this is the best season yet. I mean, look at, that's not too much of an improvement over the last two. I mean, what are you saying? You get a couple more zombies on the show as opposed to what we've normally seen? Is that the standard now that would we get, just a dramatic ending? No, because you have to think about it. Nobody talked about this show up until last week. And it's the typical formula that they've been doing for the last several years. We wait all the way to a mid-season finale, try to drag people in, and we'll give them something crazy. And we all know this. We talked about, you can go back, for those who watch this show, you can go back to when Negan knocked off Glenn, and you'll hear it there, you'll hear it again tonight. We all know what happens when this happens. We all know. You get one episode of something major, and then it slows down. They're going to either do two things here. They're going to do what I just said, or B, they're going to go back and they're going to take you back a whole 5 episodes to explain how he got bit. And they're going to break it down. And they're going to show exactly when the teeth went in, the blood dripping down and all that. And then you'll come back, and then they have another mid-season finale and then they'll get Bob Newhart or somebody on there. I mean, they just pull up anything just to get people's attention. They just reach it. They just reach for stuff. That's what they do with The Walking Dead now. They just reach. Just anything. Just anything. I mean, think about it. Oh, the other big thing was we got somebody from Fear the Walking Dead. You don't even have a real popular character on the show. And we got Morgan's gonna cross over. Really, man? Really? Morgan? You couldn't get Daryl? You couldn't get somebody else? The old man from The Walking Dead? You couldn't get the old man, a popular character, even Rand. You couldn't get somebody like that? No, you go get some of the weakest characters you can go find and put them on the show. The Walking Dead, man, that franchise, the comics are hanging in there pretty well, and even that's getting ready to come to an end soon. They've already said, Kirkman already said that he wants to end that. So I think honestly, man, that this train is slowly coming to a stop. That's my thoughts on that. Tonio, your thoughts on it, my friend?
I mean, like you, I've watched the first 3 episodes of the show, and I really just kind of lost interest in it, to be honest with you. I mean, they just keep going on with the same story, but nothing really changes in it. I mean, as far as like with each episode, it's basically like, okay, we're just gonna show this episode here where they're getting into some kind of firefight with somebody, but there's really no story behind it about why they're into that firefight besides it being an all-out war, and that's just, I guess they just blanket in the whole season with the whole all-out war thing on there for it, but there's no reason why why they're doing what they're doing in this situation on there for it. To me, I've really lost. I guess I've lost touch with Walking Dead and even Fear the Walking Dead. I know honestly, Fear the Walking Dead is probably better than the Walking Dead, but to me, honestly, with these breaks like they're doing, they lose me at the break. Like I was watching Fear the Walking Dead, and then when they took that long break, forever how long it was, 2 months or so, I just fell out with it, and I really haven't caught back up with it. They're doing the same thing with Walking Dead. I mean, I saw the return date is February 25th, so I mean, you're going almost until March, from the middle of December to the 1st of March, and that's your break between the show. I mean, I'm probably not going to pick back up on it again for the rest of it. So I mean, they're just doing what they're doing. I mean, it's slowly dying off. The popularity is dying off on it, and I mean, I guess we just see where it goes from here.
Well, one of the main things here is that for those who hadn't watched The Walking Dead since it's been on since 2007, they didn't take these breaks back when the show first came out.
No.
You got a full run of the season, and that was it. We'll see you next year. They didn't start doing that until like the prison. The prison, because I don't think they did it with the farm. I don't think anybody. I don't even think the staff could stomach that with the farm. So let's just get this over with. They didn't start this until the prison, and really then it was because the seasons were a little bit longer. Well, now it's just a common thing. Well, we're gonna go mid-season finale, so we'll just drop. Why don't y'all give us that kind of action during the show, during the regular run of the show? I mean, you look at the first 2 seasons of Walking Dead; it was action every episode. Something was going down. Well, now it's just slow to a crawl, man. I mean, it is. I mean, it's like watching Frogger. Somebody play Frogger. It's just what's coming. Al, your thoughts, my friend?
I don't know what I can say that hadn't already been said, man. To be honest with you, Walking Dead around the mid-season finale last year, when Negan disemboweled Spencer out there in front of that pool table, for some reason, after that particular episode, I lost interest. Tara's still alive, so that in itself is reason for me not to watch the show. That we're in a Walking Dead group on Facebook, and most of the group knows that I have an extreme disdain for Tara. She's like the weakest link. From what I actually read in the group, she's about to kill some folks. One episode, I think the show, I think the show is on life support, and for them to actually, gonna die is kind of like an insult. Now I've read conflict about it. His dad was saying that he wasn't aware that that Gimple was gonna write Carl out of the show. Whatever the whoever plays Carl, I can't even think of his name. He mentioned Chandler Riggs. Thank you. He mentioned that he was kind of disheartened that he was being kicked out. Larry, good to see you, sir. But you got a tone too.
Yo, look at that. What's going on, sir? Behind Larry.
As far as it goes, he was like, he kind of made it seem like he didn't know he was going to be booted from the show as well. So there's some conflicting stories as to why they did what they did. Needless to say, I think right now The Walking Dead is suffering from a couple of things. Of course, the storyline, the pacing. This mid-season finale is not just affecting The Walking Dead, because we talked about this in reference to The Flash as well. I don't know why these shows have actually adopted this whole procedure as doing 10, 12 episodes and then taking 2-3 months up again, because in my opinion, that can affect the ratings considerably, because especially if the TV is not riveting enough to keep a person, interested in the show itself. That's what lost me with Arrow. I hadn't watched Arrow since season 2 because of the stories weren't that intriguing, and then on top of that, they were taking these long breaks. I think they need to rethink this whole position of these mid-season breaks, which they probably won't. And if The Walking Dead isn't on life support, I think they need to reevaluate some of the storylines, because either way it goes, Walking Dead thrives on deaths. It thrives on character deaths, and it thrives on the fact that they want you to be emotionally attached to the particular character that they're often kill them in some grand fashion or some subtle fashion or whatnot. There were some people on Facebook in that Walking Dead group that we're in that were highly pissed because they actually were fans of Carl, and they were pissed because they just didn't see the need or the necessity for killing him off. But it is what it is. But I haven't watched The Walking Dead, like I said, since the mid-season finale last year. And from all intents and purposes, based on the anger that some people have actually displayed, it don't seem like I missed anything. So, it is what it is.
Vince. Case in point. Case in point.
I don't watch the show, man. You know that. I always said the show was too slow for me. I couldn't do it. And I guess hindsight 2020, I'm glad I never did watch the show. So, because y'all complain like it. It started off great for you guys, and now it's like total nosedive. And I remember, I think one of the last shows I was on, y'all were talking about this and how I'm pretty sure it was either TC or Matt. I'm pretty sure it was Matt. Was saying like how much more he loved the Fear of the Walking Dead than the Walking Dead show, because it actually gives you what you were looking for as far as that good storyline, that action. It just doesn't keep fishing you along because that you're deeply invested to the show, like 6 seasons or whatever at this point, But I got nothing. I never liked Carl, and I never even watched the show, so I'm glad he's gone.
Larry, welcome, my friend.
What's the biz? Hey, good to see y'all. Sorry I'm late. I know it's the last show of the year. But The Walking Dead, man, is it's a great show. But any show, once you get past, I have to put it back on another show I like. I love Supernatural. But at this point, man, we're on season 13.
You leave Winchesters alone.
I love Sam and Dean, but we on season 13, man, and it's only so much. They actually only had plans to do that show for 5 seasons, and now we're on season 13. So what do you think that show is? It's on TV because it has a cult following and people like it, and the CW wants to keep it there. But let's be real, the Sam and Dean and Supernatural has been done for about five seasons ago.
I wouldn't go that far.
Come on, man. It's been
going after like the whole God reveal, like
right.
Yes.
But back to The Walking Dead. It's somewhere along that same. It's somewhere it's on that, along that same path. It's gonna keep the viewers because it has a cult following, and you're never going to really get rid of it. If you're going ratings wise, you're never really going to get rid of it. But is the show going to ever reach the heights of where it's gone before? Never, because now it's worn off. And it's like you have to. It was new, and it's not new anymore. And you got so many other shows doing what The Walking Dead has done. So I mean, you're going to keep the viewers, but as far as the mid-season finale thing, it's like I think I know why shows do it. And to be honest, if you're a true fan of the show, it's probably gonna keep you enthralled to come back for that second half just because you want to see what happened. If you're not a real fan, you're probably gonna fall off. Like Al said, you're probably gonna fall off. But
let me add. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sir.
Go ahead.
I got 2 questions I want to pose to the panel, and it's interesting that you said that, man. The first question is this: being a true fan of a particular show, can you be a true fan of a show and still support that show if the material has become stale?
Yeah, like I said, I do it Supernatural.
Jeez. Well, I mean, if you're a true, yeah, okay. I hate to admit this, but I agree with Larry.
Yeah. He's I hate it.
I hate to do it, but I totally agree because I mean, using the same example that Larry used as far as Supernatural, it's like, who else are they going to fight? Who else is going to be the big bad? Like, who else are they going to pull out of some make-believe or out of the Bible, out of wherever, lore, urban legend that they could fight that they haven't fought already?
It's the only show I know that could take one principle, and that's brotherhood, and spin it for 13 years.
I mean, they're like damn near like in their mid-40s.
Right.
At this point. But
I mean, they got a spinoff coming too.
Please no. I know they had a cartoon that was on like CWC, but
no, they got a spinoff coming with the females.
Oh yeah, with the sheriff. Yeah, okay, yeah. Stop it, no.
Okay, so my next quick question is this, and this is for the panel, and I already know what Matt gonna say, but at this particular juncture, do you all believe that The Walking Dead has jumped the shark?
I mean, that's not only have they jumped the shark, man, they have jumped Gilligan's Island. They have jumped Gilligan's Island. And Thurston Howard III and everybody else. This show is done. It's done. I mean, it's go. And I'm gonna do a Larry Crocker right quick, man. There's an audience for this show. There is an audience for this show. I'm just not a part of it. I just didn't have I don't have the popcorn and soda. I'm not sitting in the seat. I just don't have really have much of an interest for it anymore. And Tony tell you, I was diehard Walking Dead. I mean, diehard Walking Dead. But it's just it's run its course. I feel like some of these storylines should have been cut shorter a long time ago. I mean, honestly, man, I enjoyed when they were with the what is it? The cannibals.
Terminus.
I can't think of it.
Terminus.
Yeah, Terminus. I enjoyed the Terminus, but we only got it. About 2 episodes, and that was it.
It's about 4,
maybe 4, and so you rush through that, and then you do a backstory on Morgan. We all could do a backstory on Morgan in season 1, season 2, 3. I mean, there was seasons that y'all could have done that, and you wasted 3 episodes on Tara.
Oh God.
So
I think all those episodes were viable. I just think with The Walking Dead.
Larry, I know. Listen. You put those kind of episodes online so people can watch it. Nobody is pining at the house. Nobody is coming home from church, from revival. Nobody's coming home off the road after a long day of hard work, man, to get to pop open a beer and sit down and watch Tara. Nobody is coming. Nobody is coming home to watch.
But you have. I understand, man. But you gotta have those. Name one show that doesn't have episodes that are filler episodes. There's not a show out there that doesn't have a filler episode. You gotta have them. He said, "Man, said the Love Boat."
Yeah, I'm talking. Hey, you didn't say good filler episode. You just said filler. That was not.
Hey, that's in the eye. That's in the eye of the beholder.
Well, Xavier, were you coming home to watch Tara on Walking Dead? Was that something that you know you had to watch that?
No.
Who on this panel was coming home to watch? So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of us. Now who's coming home to watch Tara?
Hey, I would. I was coming home to watch Tara.
Y'all already know Larry got to be the oddball out of everybody.
The oddball. I'm just saying, man. You got to understand pacing, and you got to.
Hey, what's that over your right shoulder?
Oh, the DC box set.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but you got to understand pacing, and you got to understand, man, that every show is going to give you some trash from time to time, bro, and it's going to be in every season. It just so happens you got a show that has 20 episodes. You're going to get a little bit more trash than the average show.
But they done had a lot more trash these past 2 seasons, or a season and a half, than any other season. You know what I mean?
Xavier has a Walking Dead running its course?
I think so, especially after Sunday night.
This is a man who wasn't even on the panel when I said what I just said. He just exact same thing.
But we all know it's running its course. I mean, it's 8 years in, and we're trying to make it to 10. That's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to make it to 10.
I don't think we're gonna make it to 10.
No, I think they'll get there.
We're gonna make it. Just because I say you're not gonna lose based upon viewership. The show it's still making AMC a whole ass load of money.
But think about how the ratings dropped after Glenn. You know what I'm saying? Now think about how much it's gonna drop after Carl. You know what I'm saying?
I think those ratings.
I think hot about it, and I think
the rating drop though, man. When you take a look at Sunday night, if The Walking Dead is still putting in 13 million viewers, the next closest show, man, probably 5 or 6. They can still afford a 3 or 4 million drop and still be the top show on Sunday night.
What's funny is, well, first, hey, how y'all doing? I know it's been a minute since I've seen all y'all on the panel. But I'm kind of mad about it though, because I just started liking Carl this season. Like his little speech to me, and I was like, okay, Carl, I can dig you now. Okay, I like it. And then next thing you know, I think it's a dream sequence, though. I don't think it's real. I think it's when he passed out from that car exploding, and it's just, he gonna wake up like, oh, okay, all right, let's go. I'm hoping.
Antonio, has it run its course, my friend?
Oh God.
Thumbs
yeah,
down.
man. I mean, it's pretty bad, man. At this point, I mean, I can tell what they're probably gonna do is they're probably gonna do some kind of they're gonna get Cable to come in, do a time jump. They're gonna go and Judith is gonna be like 19 or 20, and then we're just gonna roll on from there. She's gonna take the place of Carl as far as what he does in the comics and on the show in the future. Therefore, that's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Terminator 4.
Yeah,
it's done. Al, you sitting there facing
Terminator 4.
I'm done, man. I've said my piece. I'm gonna keep collecting the comic books. They're about to jump into They're about to have the NWO in the comic book. So. A group called the New World Order.
Okay.
They got New World Order. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move. We're gonna shift over. I will let y'all also in on something else. I have not been watching The Flash because I just see what the group says, and I realize that I'm not missing anything.
You're not. I mean,
Yeah, when I get the phone call from Antonio saying, "Hey man, you watching this?" Then I know it's legit.
I'm gonna have Vince
And right on
as soon as
cue,
you said
right on
Flash.
cue, right on cue.
Hey man, y'all a harsh panel though, boy. I'm telling you, y'all are harsh.
No, and that is
Yeah,
we
y'all
know what we
harsh.
like. We know what we like.
We got to
And we
call
want what we like.
Well, keep the comment hall where keeping it real is keeping it real. All right, Vince, since you've been off the show for a while, we're gonna let you kick off this panel. What is your thoughts on the state of the Flash as we are now? I think we're what? Are we at mid-season now with Flash? We're right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, mid-season.
Yeah, mid-season with Flash.
Mid-season.
So, what are your thoughts on the Flash this season so far?
I had high hopes. I'm not even gonna lie. At the beginning, when they got him out of the Speed Force, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm so much faster now." Blah 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 blah. But he's still doing the same dumb shit. Like it's so funny. Like just like you, Matt. There's times where I'll miss the episode because I'm recording it anyway. But then I'll see a comment from either X or TC talking about why didn't he phase through the floor, or like something that you would think a more seasoned at this point Flash would know what to do. He's still doing the same stuff that he was doing in season 1 and 2. Like it I'm rooting for the Flash. I'm really rooting for Wally because I really like Wally. They doing him dirty for whatever reason, personal stuff outside of like the Flash or whatever the case may be. But this whole we're getting married, Iris, we're getting married, blah blah blah. Like when they did the crossover episodes, which was way better than any other crossover episode that they have done up to this point. I'll say that. But like Iris just was talking about, well, I was supposed to be getting married. Bitch, we got problems right now. Like real world problems. Like, why are you still talking about this? Like, that was like one of the main annoying factors. And it's something that led up to this point with even Flash. It's just like, okay, we get it. You're a couple. You're getting married. Like, okay, yeah, Nazis coming out of nowhere, taking people from a different, universe. Oh yeah, there's Universe X. So like, we're supposed to casually just say this. Oh, the way to go, Wells. Thank you. But it's the same stuff, just different season. To be honest with you, I still watch it. I ride with it. I think it's more comical now with the group chat that we got as we're watching it, which makes it more enjoyable than just watching it and being like, why haven't you got your Flash ring yet? For TC's sake. And why aren't you just doing, normal things that you expect from this season Flash? Like it irritates the shit out of me. Like especially reading, the comics, but especially with the Rebirth, like how super smart and like analytical and like the things that he can do. Why aren't we seeing even a fraction of that in the show? I get budget, I get it, but like. Fuck, like let him bulk up a little bit too. He's too damn skinny. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just ranting at this point. But
take your time, man. Take your time.
Hey, man, release, my brother. Release.
It's just, there's a lot of little things that just irk me, but I still rock with the show. Unlike, and I'm just gonna say one word, and I'm not gonna say anything else about the daggone show, but Gotham. That's it. But there's little things with it. I still watch it. It's like I would say out of the DC CW shows, it's the best one. I'll say that by far. Until we get Black Lightning and see what that's all about. But Flash is, like I said, is leading the way with better dialogue, better acting. But I expect more from my Flash. That's hands down. I expect more, and I'm not getting it.
Xavier, Flash.
I mean, it's definitely better than last season, but it wasn't hard to be better than last season, in my opinion. What Larry was talking about earlier, how when you got 20 episodes, you got to have filler. That's another case of where it was too much filler in a season. Like they could have did
Musical
Savitar.
episode.
Right. Like they could have did Savitar in the first half of the season, and then the second half we could have had the Thinker, which is what we have now. But I mean, I will say that I definitely agree with Vince on this was the best crossover that they've ever done, hands down. I wish we actually had more of the Earth X characters than what we see on a daily basis or weekly basis. Barry's still weak. Wally is not Wally. That's why I want the original Wally West to pop up. You know what I'm saying? I wish they'd go the rebirth route. Uh, I'm tired of Iris and getting married. I'm just so happy that they done got married. I hate to say this because I don't watch Arrow anymore, but I'm glad that Ali and Felicity got married again, just so we can start with this whole little love triangle. Are we type deal? Let's just get to the Flash being the Flash. Go ahead and do something with Iris so you can piss Barry off so he can go ahead and do something vicious again. Um, I I need what we had in season 1 and season 2 to come back. You know, I don't know if they need to go get the writers from season 1 and season 2 to come back. They need to do something so that they can keep us. Um, it's like Vince said, it's the best of the Arrowverse, but it's not hard to be the best of the Arrowverse when you have Arrow, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh my god!
Right. So when you have those to compete against, it's not hard to be one. And I think that's why they are so bad as they are now. You know, but I'm still gonna watch the show. You know, like Vince said, like I still watch Gotham even though I hate it. You know what I mean? Because I got to see how stupid it is. But at least with Arrow, I get to laugh and enjoy it. I mean, with the Flash, I'm sorry. With the Flash, I get to laugh and enjoy it. But I mean, they got to do better. They have to.
All right, Antonio.
You know, man, I wanted to say, man, I really had higher hopes for this season than any other previous Flash season. And mainly that's because of the him being in the in the Speed Force for so long, and then him coming out. And I figured it was going to be like a whole new type of character, the way they were going to portray Barry Allen in that situation. And they did for a good, I don't know, 20 minutes in the first episode. But then after that, it just went back to the status quo of just really a kind of a silly show at this point. I mean, and that's the way I see the show now. It's just being silly. The whole Elastic Man. I mean, the dude seems like a car salesman every episode. That's what I feel like he is. That he's trying to sell a car on every episode on there for it. And you know the thing, the Thinker. I mean, that's a good. I mean, so far he's been a good villain for the show. I mean, he's done his part with what he's supposed to do on there for it. But like Vince said, Barry's still. I mean, he's still got the training wheels on. I mean, we haven't even gone back into to the whole the writing and the from the Speed Force, or he haven't tried to decipher any of that or go into any of that at all whatsoever on there. Even though he's already had like a head start from hearing from the Time Remnant about what they did to take care of the Thinker. They're not even touching on that at all whatsoever. So,
Being that to your mom.
So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I really don't know on there for it. And as far as with Arrow, I haven't. To me, the episodes are still the same. It's still the same storylines. Characters still fall into the same situations, and I really haven't watched too much of it at all, to be honest with you. In Gotham, I mean, ever since they blew up Azrael with a rocket launcher, I was pretty much done after that episode.
I mean,
That
I mean, I
that pretty
said it.
much was like, I'm done. And when I saw that, I was like, I just said I'm done after that.
I don't watch these shows, man. In particular, what I do, I keep up with ratings, and I was just looking at it as y'all said that. Now I hear what y'all saying, and my argument is always to you guys. I hear your arguments, but guess what? Y'all are Flash purists. The show isn't made for y'all. They hope that y'all watch the show, but the show isn't made for you. The show has been CW's highest rated TV show for 3 years. So clearly, what y'all saying is falling on deaf ears because they still getting what they want out of the show.
Well, I mean, we're still saying what we're saying, though, Larry, but we still watching the damn show, adding to the ratings that you talk about.
Exactly.
So we are hoping. Well, no, the show I would say is made for us and not made for us. I would think for the novice who doesn't necessarily know the background information that some of us may know more than others. But I mean, like, you got to get to a certain point where character development is better than fucking ratings. It's like how much depth can Barry or Cisco or damn Wells.
I hear you, but my point is, if the average person doesn't read the comic and know any of this, then to them all this stuff is great. It's brand new. It's like you guys are putting 2 and 2 together because you know what it's supposed to be. If the average person doesn't know what it's supposed to be, then this is great.
Well, then they're selling themselves short for not having. And I'm just saying, like,
because it's not making them want to read the comics.
You know what I'm saying? Not even saying that somebody would have to go out and read a comic to fully understand where they should be going with this. It's like, look, you should demand more from your TV shows. At the end of the day, demand more from your TV shows.
I'll give you a prime example, man, and this is always my favorite example.
Yeah, and
this here,
terrible.
This show was one of the best shows CW ever made. It followed nothing.
At all.
But it was a great show. And to me, once again, I'm not a Superman purist, so therefore I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed it so much, man, that I bought the seasons individually, and I went out and bought this.
But see, that's when you have good TV. That's what I'm saying. Like The Flash, it still falls short from being like fantastic TV. That's the point. It's like the same hokey ass shit. Like, sorry, but like he's Elastic Man. Like, we really don't need him on there. Like, that's not adding any value to this show. If anything, it's taking away from the show because you have somebody that, if I wanted my comic relief, I had Cisco. Mm-hmm. I don't need him adding some extra dumb stuff that doesn't do anything for anybody except for him making himself look like, oh, I'm a low life pervert because I used to be a private detective. Like, seriously, like, I don't need that on my Flash show. Go take that somewhere else on a different channel. Like, I don't need that. I had Cisco, and Cisco did it well as far as comic relief. But at this point, you're adding too many ingredients into the recipe, which could be detrimental in the long run.
I hear you.
And that's just my point on that.
I hear you.
No shit, Larry agreed with me. He hears me.
About DC.
I agree. I always agree to disagree, man. Everybody got their own opinion.
Al, thoughts?
I kind of like old boy when he showed up, Elongated Man. I'm actually in agreement. No, I mean when he first showed up, but see the thing of it is that stick is getting old. And I understand what you're saying, Larry, and it makes sense. My thing is that the creators of the show, if people are going to watch The Flash, regardless, those that aren't familiar with the comic, what's stopping the writers from pulling more from the source? You get what I'm saying? I understand that it's on the CW, and CW is known for their, teen angst shows, Riverdales and iZombies and all that kind of stuff. If the show is actually mired in, comic book, it doesn't have to be pitch perfect, but at least put it in a perspective to where you're providing enough entertainment for those who watch it because it's the Flash, than saying, okay, well, we're just going to make this out of a romance or a drama, but the protagonist just so happens to have super speed. That's what, to me, the show is like at times. Now, I'll still watch the show because to me, it's light years better than Arrow. Arrow, in my opinion, is garbage. But at the end of the day, I'll still watch it, with the hopes that they, in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Now, I will agree with the rest of the panel that Crisis on Earth X was done well. And no, Antonio was not better than Justice League. But but it was good. It was really good, and it was a lot better than the one they did last year, a whole lot better. But at the end of the day, sometimes we look at stuff too critically because, I collect that Flash comic book right now, man. Oh God, if they did a fraction of what they were doing in the comic book on the show, I think their ratings would increase tenfold. Personally,
Larry would be watching it if they did what they did in the comic.
I would agree because there's so much stuff going on in the comic book. They could easily put that stuff on the show, and people will be none the wiser, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep watching it, and I'm gonna keep watching it. So
all right, so let's move on. And Thursday, the Force is with us again. Now, I will tell you, I have not read one thing. I'm not looking for a review. I don't want to hear on this panel. I don't want to hear anything about what's supposed to happen with the rumor. We're keeping it free. We're keeping it spoiler free right here. I'm just excited that it's finally here, and I want to get everybody's opinion for those who are planning to see the movie. I know everybody here is not a Star Wars fanatic, but as for me, I am just excited. Kylo Ren, I'm just ready for the voice, and I'm just excited, man. That's all I can say is I'm just really excited for the movie. We'll start this one off. Al, your thoughts on the Force?
One of the big things that I want to know, and I don't know about y'all. What I really want to know, and I've got the feeling that they more than likely will not release this information until the third movie. Y'all probably already know where I'm going with this. Who in the bleep is Snoke? That's who I want to know. Who is Snoke?
Tony?
Because if you are familiar with the Star Wars lore, he has to be somebody, I'm assuming, in Palpatine's past, because ain't no way this dude's gonna be over the First Order. True. And he's just been there all the time. He had to have been hiding. So that's my big thing. I want to know who Snoke is.
Tony, your thoughts?
Man, I've purposely avoided anything about this movie just so I can go see it with fresh eyes on there for it. So, I'm really excited and ready to see where they're gonna take the characters in this situation on there for it. I do know they said that Daisy Ridley.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
That after the next
spoiler.
one.
No spoilers. Super spoiler.
She just said that she's not gonna do the character anymore after the next episode. Not this one coming, but the next movie. She said she's not doing it anymore. She said that she's done after that. So I wonder what they're gonna do going forward in that situation.
Larry, are you going to see the Force this week, man?
Man, like I told you earlier, man. I saw one Star Wars movie and I didn't enjoy it too much. So I'm not a.
Which one did you see? How about that?
The Empire Strikes Back.
What?
What?
I thought it might have been Attack of the Clones or something.
Yeah. That's all. Like that.
I was gonna say Phantom Menace.
Yeah. I was waiting for a prequel. Jeez.
Right.
Yeah, man. I'm not a Star Wars fan or a Star Trek fan. So y'all, eliminate myself on this one.
Heretic.
Hey man, it's a Marvel / Disney property now. You're not gonna support that?
You're not gonna support your brother, man.
Look, I did read the review, so I'm not gonna say any spoilers. Cause I try to keep up with pop culture, but I know it is projected to make $200 million first weekend alone.
Jesus,
yeah, it's gonna easily make $1 billion before we know it.
Yeah, it's gonna make a billion easily.
What's your thoughts on the Force, man?
Oh man, I'm super stoked for it. Kind of sucks I can't see it when I want to see it because I got family coming in town. So I have to delay mine until Sunday. So I'm gonna try to like live under a rock and not look at anything the whole
You have
weekend.
to unplug.
Yeah,
I'm
pretty
going to
much.
see it Friday.
I'm about to unplug something serious. Because it's gonna be me and my daughter, so I can't go like on a Thursday night. So she has to go to school, so I gotta take one for the team on that one. But I'm super stoked. To find out who Snoke is, that would be pretty cool. To find out who Rey's parents are, that would be pretty cool. I'm just really overall excited just to see where they go with the franchise as a whole, because there's so much canon that you can go, and it doesn't have to be the whole Luke, Leia and all that stuff, especially with Luke getting old and actually lady play Leia died. There's so many different avenues. I mean, I would love to get a Anakin like in his prime, like when he just became Darth Vader. Like, let's get a movie with that. Like, we'll get what we saw at the end of Rogue One. Like, give me more of that, and I'm pretty sure that will pull stuff in. Give me a better Darth Maul story. Like, he died too soon. I need so much more, and but yet again, sticking with what's coming out this weekend. I'm super stoked. The trailers look super badass. Like, I'm probably going to see it probably like 2 or 3 times in the movie theater, like I did with the last one. So I mean, yeah, I'm ready for it. I'm ready.
All right, Xavier.
I'm ready to go ahead and put this movie pass to the test, man. I need to go ahead and get my first movie on this movie pass thing. I will say this is the most excited I've been for a Star Wars movie since the Phantom Menace, which was a big letdown. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was excited about the Phantom Menace just because it was so long since we had Star Wars.
True.
But just seeing this right here, after watching the Force Awakens and Rogue One, yeah, I have to see this. I need to see if they're going to answer all the questions that I have. I'm not going to ask them here because we want to try to keep it spoiler. Well, we want to keep it spoiler free, but I just got to see the path that is going down, which is going to lead us to episode 9. So I'm not like, man, I ain't worried about the voice, but I do want to see how that relationship is going to play out, But I'm excited to go see it. Hopefully, I'll be able to go see it either tomorrow night or Friday. Hopefully.
All right. We're going to move on here. Al, you wanted to discuss the video game industry state of affairs.
Well, before we get into that, can I gotta bounce out. I got work and stuff in the morning. So
glad to have you back, Vince.
Yeah, I'll echo what I said at the beginning as far as, I appreciate y'all letting me be part of this venture, especially when it started.
And
the end of the year. So, yeah.
Before you scoot out, Vince, I'll go ahead. I want to make a special announcement, and we'll go ahead and we'll do that now. The special announcement is going to be that next year in 2018, me and Al will be taking the show on the road, and we will be doing podcasts for the channel. So be on the lookout for that. So beginning in 2018, it'll just happen. So we're just letting you know that we'll be doing podcasts. We'll be going to visit other local comic stores across the state. We'll be doing phone-ins, and that's another thing is that I'm trying to, in the process now, working to see if we can get call-ins onto the panel while we're on. So that's one of the things I'm looking at trying to do, which would be interesting. So we're going to try to pull that. So I think that's it. Vince, thank you, man. You have a Merry Christmas, bro. Before you go, what is the worst Christmas gift that you ever received?
Oh, jeez. That sounds horrible. What's the
All
worst
right.
Christmas
You
gift?
finna put somebody on blast.
Yeah. I'm gonna say I never got one because I was always thankful to get one. Saving PC answer right there. Honestly, I can't think of anything that was the worst. I probably had some worse birthday gifts. Probably, I don't. Honestly, I can't remember. But just in case my parents do see this, I enjoy it.
All right.
But nah, it's been real, fellas. Y'all enjoy the rest
Merry
of the
Christmas,
show.
man.
Merry Christmas, brother.
Yeah,
Happy
y'all
New
too,
Year,
brother.
man. Yeah,
Merry
I
Christmas.
appreciate y'all.
All right.
All right, be easy,
I'm
sir.
out. Yep.
All right. So let's move on. Al, you want to talk about the video game industry?
I just want to go over really quick. I'm not gonna take up much time. We're talking. I've been talking to a few people about it in reference to the video game industry, and looks like we're going into a phase of where microtransactions are going to become a thing as far as a regularity. It's already started in a lot of PvP games. It's also bled over into fighting games. We've talked countless of times about Street Fighter V and how Street Fighter V is actually set it up, where you're looking at microtransactions to purchase this, that, or what have you. I talked to someone the other day and we were talking and he kind of brought out a point about it. Is like, a lot of people, the video game companies fail to realize that even though they are actually reaching for a certain market, it's gamers our age that actually put more money into the market in reference to video games. The issue with Battlefront 2 came out about a few weeks ago, and there was a huge outcry from gamers in reference to how EA was actually handling the situation regarding the microtransactions. And, to make a long story short, Disney decided to step in and they pretty much put the kibosh on it, which was surprising to me. But Disney pretty much had the stance that, you're really nickel and diming the consumers. We want the consumers to have a good experience with this game. So y'all need to scale back on it. And I think what's going to eventually happen, if more companies tend to do it, I think there's going to be more of that type of revolt. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem with companies, doing, the microtransactions, the loot crates, the DLC content, as long as they put out a game that is going to be a complete game. But when you are putting out or producing a partial game, and then you're adding to the game, which should have actually been in the game from jump, then you're posing a problem and there's a big issue. And I think a lot of people are starting to come to that particular term. Marvel's Capcom Infinite suffered considerably because of how Capcom did Street Fighter V. Capcom is trying to fix that now with the arcade edition that's coming out in January, providing a couple of free characters, even though they're coming up with another season pass. But going into 2018, I'm really hoping that a lot of these companies would try to come up with some type of balance and not be in a position to where they're trying to make money hand over foot before giving the gamer a full-fledged gaming experience, because that's what it looks like now. EA has been under fire, and I don't know if y'all read it, but soon after that whole debacle with the microtransactions, EA lost $3 billion. Their stock dropped $3 billion. When you're looking at that type of situation, I think the video game companies need to try to come up with some form of happy medium to where they could put out quality games, full games, and then if you're doing microtransactions or DLC, provide some type of medium to where the DLC or the microtransactions would actually enhance or add to the already completed game instead of building the game based on the microtransactions and the DLC that you end up buying after the game purchase. So that's pretty much all I have to say about it.
All right. Anybody on the panel want to tackle TC? Xavier, anybody want to speak on that? I mean, I'm not going to rant on it. I'm not going to rant on it.
I mean, he touched on it.
Pretty much covered everything.
Yeah. I'll just say Black Widow, Venom, Winter Soldier.
I mean, at the end of the day, man, you know, I said a couple shows ago, that's not going anywhere. It's a wishful thought. Like I said, that's the model, and it's going to continue. It is a lot of people our age that put money into gaming, but everything in this world revolves around the youth. And as long as the youth, that's you gotta think about it. When we phase out, that's all they're gonna know, and they're gonna put countless amounts of money into it because that's all they know. And
it's not them putting the money into it; it's us that's putting the money into it because we're buying it for the youth.
But guess what? If we're gonna continue to buy it for them, that's what I'm saying. They're gonna continue to grow, and when they grow, that's all they're gonna know. It's a phase. It's gonna keep going that way, and unless you stop, you know what I'm saying? Unless nobody buys DLC, and that's what you gotta hope, that nobody buys DLC. But that's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just not gonna happen. So it's something that you might as well get used to that. Now, I agree with you. I hope developers put a little bit more into it as far as making games a little bit more complete. But you got to think, a lot of developers up until now felt cheated because look at GameStop's model. Look at a lot of other people's models. As a matter of fact, GameStop not going to they let you rent games now because
I thought they suspended it.
Well, as far as the plan for them letting you rent games, I thought they would come out with it.
No,
they suspended it.
They did.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you gotta think, man, a lot of developers and companies were feeling cheated, man, because you can sell a game 4 or 5 times, they only get profit once.
Right.
Where they money at? You know.
The thing is, it's not that we dislike DLC. We dislike the oversaturation of DLC. You know what I'm saying?
But what is oversaturation?
So
the oversaturation. Oh, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say Street Fighter V is a prime example.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you bring out this game and you have 2 or 3 of the main characters that all of us grew up playing with, and then everybody else is DLC. Everybody, and you got uniforms like colors that are DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Not.
But I'm gonna take you back. Dead or Alive on like the first Xbox or Xbox 360 had that. If you wanted different uniforms, that when you beat the game, they had so you could purchase new uniforms. That's nothing new.
I'm not talking about when you beat the game you can purchase. I'm talking about in order to play the game, you have to get a DLC for Street Fighter V. It's too much.
You didn't have to get that's not the case. Now, if you wanted to play with who you wanted to play with, you had to get a DLC. But you had 8 to 10 fighters out the gate.
You can't just go in there and just play online and do all that good stuff. Off the rip, you couldn't.
But also, you gotta realize this as well.
I had the game day one. I know.
Also, you gotta look at this as well. I did too. But you also gotta look at this as well. If you hold out, they're gonna come out with a championship edition or whatever that's gonna have all the DLC with it. They always do.
Sometimes it's hard to hold out, bro.
They always do.
You know.
Look, with anything in life, the early adopter pays. Whether it's phones, whether it's technology, whether it's cars, the early adopter pays. When you got to be first to have it, you're going to pay a price. That's the price you pay.
Well, I think that's that on that. I'm not going to. I will be here all night if I get on that. Although I will say this. Capcom has announced the 30th anniversary Street Fighter. I'm gonna tell y'all this. The only thing I like about it, man, is that all of it is online. outside of that, let's move on. So, for those who was not on the panel with us last episode of the Comic Hall, me and Al discussed in decent length the Punisher, Thor, and we're gonna go right into the elephant in the room. And I'm going as Al knows, I usually do this for the dramatic effect. Justice League cracked the $600 million worldwide number this week. But there seems to be a few people who still consider this movie a flop. And they're on this panel. There's a few on this panel. One or two on this panel. But what I'm trying to figure out is that's a hell of an expensive flop. Which denotes to me that people were still going to see this movie after the first week. Am I correct in that assessment, Brother Al?
Yep, you would be correct, sir.
So that means that even though, quote unquote, the bad review, this movie was supposed to be as bad as it was, that people was, as Larry, we talk about this, do Larry Crocker, let's follow the money trail.
Let me ask, is that 600? Is that 600 million domestic?
Oh, see.
But that's the question.
That's worldwide. That's worldwide.
That's worldwide, and that's what I'm saying. And Al even put it. I read a post from Al before I even got on here, where they were calling it the most expensive dud ever made. I mean, the best dud ever made.
The most expensive bomb.
Yeah, like Al was saying, it's based upon domestic. It's based upon domestic money. Now, if you only cross 200 million here, and you get the other 400 million, you think about this. Star Wars is supposed to do 200 million domestic one weekend. And you talking about this? But I hear you. But you talking about this one movie that cost you? How much did they say Justice League costing to make?
300. Yeah.
30. I think $330 million.
They were saying, man, that if it wasn't for the overseas product, that you might have a hard time making your money back.
Now, here's the thing about that. I hate to cut you off, but here's the thing about that. The only reason people fail to realize how much money went back into that movie after they had to reshoot it when Zack Snyder had to step down and they pretty much redid the entire movie. It costs to have to do those reshoots. You got to pay these actors to do this outside of what the projected time was. So that's what took up a bulk of the money, and that right there is what jumped it up to the $330 million. So naturally, if they didn't get that back in the first night, it's considered a bomb. That if they never had to do any of those reshoots, we would not be sitting here talking about.
How long has the movie been out? How long has the movie been out?
What, a month?
A month. Is it a month or a little bit more than a month?
It's a little bit more than a month.
So what I say is this. How long do you think? Now, I think what they say, how long, what does Infinity War cost? Then they said somewhere north of.
You can't compare the
$1 billion.
You can't compare that.
No, I'm just saying. No, just hear me out.
Versus 100+ characters. You're gonna spend that much.
I hear you, but the faith that they have that they're gonna actually make that money back, I'm pretty sure Justice League, man, at this point. And don't get me wrong, I saw the movie. It's not a bad movie. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm not. But what I'm saying is I think this is the movie that was supposed to save them going forward after Wonder Woman put them on the right path. And I think that it wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not calling it a bomb or anything like that. I joke around. It's not a bomb. It wasn't like you said, Eggs. I read your comment too. It wasn't a bad movie. It just wasn't a great movie. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a fair assessment of it. But I think the movies before Justice League hurt Justice League.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and I think it has nothing more to do with anything else other than that. Bad reviews and the movies before that actually set this movie up to be where it is.
Right. Because people they're not using their own judgment. They're just going off of what these people who get paid to criticize movies and whatnot. That you should always have your own brain and decide whether or not you want to go see a movie or not, and if you like the movie. Like, look at us, for instance. we all of us, with the exception of you, sat here and we destroyed Logan. But we were the first to sit here and admit that we were wrong when Logan came out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we didn't just, even though we sat here and had our low expectations about the movie, we still went and saw the movie for ourselves and judged for ourselves. People need to do the same thing. They need to stop listening to these other people, because other people have their minds and their opinions. Form your own opinion on it. You know what I'm saying? But because these people, it's like you said about the gaming issue, the generation that are up under us, all they know is what they see on the internet, and that's all they go by. So it's like they're drones, you know what I'm saying, or droids. Form your own opinion form your opinion after you see the movie. Don't go in just basing it off of what these other people are saying.
I also say that I think bad word of mouth got around by that movie too. We were talking to a dude, and Matt could attest to this. We were talking to a dude that had Comics Plus, and he destroyed it. So I think you also had, I think the expectations of that movie, like I said, I think the expectations for that movie were up here because of what it was. It was Justice League, it's Batman, Superman, it's Wonder Woman, it's Cyborg, you might see Green Lantern. I think they built it up. And like I said, man, the one thing I always looked at, I think the marketing for that movie was kind of off because of the Superman deal. You tried so hard to omit Superman from the marketing, but really that was one of the bright spots you had of that movie. You know what I'm saying? Like why did you try so hard to take him out of the marketing and you knew he was going to be in the movie?
Because it was 3 different movies. No, like for real. You had Zack Snyder's movie, then you had the one that was reshot with Josh Whedon, then you had the one that Warner Brothers made them stretch down into a 2-hour movie.
2-hour movie, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they didn't even know what movie they were going to put out, so that's why the marketing was so off.
But DC they got to trust themselves though, man. They got to trust.
It's not DC, it's Warner Brothers. You know what I'm saying? It's Warner Brothers that's doing all the backdoor BS and messing up these movies.
If we feel we got a grade A product, then hey, let's go with our mind and say we got a grade A product and let the public decide if it's a bad product or not. We shouldn't rethink the product 2-3 times over because of something else that's going on out there. That's all I say. Like,
what they need to do is find a formula that works and stick with it. What worked with Wonder Woman, they need to do that with all the other movies. But
I thought they had it. That's why I say I thought they had it with Wonder Woman, man. Like, they got it from here.
They.
And like I said, man, this whole thing with Batman, like they don't know who's gonna be the next Batman. They talking about
Ben Affleck don't want to be Batman after this movie, though.
I can after this one.
No, I'm saying I can see why he doesn't want to be Batman after this movie, just to the way they handle him. I'll bow out too.
And then, man, they talking about having 3 different Batman movies in 1 year. It's like, what y'all doing over there?
Batman movies are Joker movies.
I thought they said, well, they might consider that a Batman movie, I guess. But I know they were talking about, I guess, in the Batverse, 3 different Bat movies in a year. And I was just like, wow,
that's stupid. That'd be dumb.
Al?
I think the movie itself was it fell victim to a lot of stuff, like Larry X indicated. I mean, bad press, the whole, not knowing what which version of the movie is gonna be. I think a lot of the bad word of mouth was actually a culmination of people expecting too much. And what I mean by that is that when Marvel and DC are 2 entities. They have separate characters. Some of the characters are similar, some of them aren't. Storylines, the whole 9. Rich history for both. I've actually talked to a couple people, both at work, some friends, associates, as well as on Facebook. And I've talked to several people. I asked them, what you think about Justice League? The first thing they say, it wasn't Avengers. It wasn't supposed to be the Avengers.
Right.
And I think that's what the misconception of a lot of people that went to the movies to see. They wanted to have that same feel good feeling that they had when the Avengers movie came out. And to be honest with you, man, that Avengers movie is a once in a lifetime thing, unless they do an Avengers versus X-Men movie, to top that. But and when I say once in a lifetime, I don't think there will be another superhero movie that'll have that kind of buzz and unless, like I said, it's something that revolves around the X-Men coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That movie was just one of a kind. So it would be unfair for anybody. And this goes for even Marvel movies. If they did 5 more Avengers movies, there's going to be somebody they're going to turn around and say, well, it wasn't good at the first one. 9 times out of 10,
seen it before. That's why it was so amazing.
Right. But I mean, most of the time it's rare that you're going to find a movie that comes out and a sequel that comes out that's going to be better than the predecessor. You have your exceptions to the rule. But for the most part, I think a lot of people, when they went to see Justice League, they went to Justice League, and they expected to see an Avengers movie. They didn't see that. So the first thing they're going to do, they're going to formulate this particular mindset of this opinion. Man, I didn't like this movie because it didn't flow like the Avengers movie. It's not meant to, even though Joss Whedon tried, because you could tell certain aspects of Justice League, he tried to add a little bit of what he added to the Avengers. It fell flat to me, even though I like the Justice League movie. And the reason why I fell flat is because I didn't see what I saw in the Avengers movie and the Justice League movie. I didn't go to the movies expecting to see an Avengers Light or an Avengers 1.6 DC style. And I think that's what actually threw a lot of people off, in addition to the negative reviews, in addition to, oh my God, where's Superman? Superman in the black suit. You didn't see not hide and hair Superman in the black suit, but that was part of the marketing.
Right.
And I think all of that mixed together jacked up the Justice.
But I think
you saw the time. Oh my God, that was jacked.
But I think I think it's fair though, Al. And the only reason I think it's fair, but it's unfair, because Justice League is the answer to the Avengers. And I don't think DC did wrong. This should have been the end all be all for the phase 1 of their. This should have been the coup de grace for their phase 1. Justice League should have
developed the characters before they did this. Yeah.
Exactly. This should have been the culmination of everything they put together for phase 1. Steppenwolf should have been the big bad for 1, and then Darkseid should have been the next step, since he's right under Darkseid. You know what I'm saying? And they should have set it up that way. And instead, it's like you got 3 characters that you fleshed out. You brought some new ones in to kind of put them out there, but now you got to go back and make solo movies for them to make people understand why they belong. You know what I'm saying? When they should already know why they belong.
So they basically did it backwards. Which, I mean, they've learned, hopefully, from that particular mistake. And really, to be honest with you, it was nothing that they can do. The Superman came out, they done already stepped in the doo-doo. The only thing they could do at that point was just scrape it off as best as they can and move forward. You know what I'm saying?
With the fake Doomsday killing Superman. That's when they stepped in the doo-doo.
Yeah, but I mean, that's neither here nor there at the moment. But but I read an article where Batman vs Superman actually domestically did better than Justice League.
Yeah.
So I mean, even though it was a bunch of doo-doo stepping in, they at least made their money back from Batman versus Superman domestically and globally.
Yeah.
But I mean, at that point in time, you had people, they were clamoring to see Batman versus Superman because they had never seen Batman versus Superman on the big screen.
And they hadn't got the press yet.
Right. So I mean, at the end of the day, my thing is this. Marvel has been doing this for what, 10, 11, 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
DC has they still got Similac on their breath, like the old saying goes. I'm wanting it to be a situation where DC doesn't shoot themselves in the foot to the point to where they're hemorrhaging and they just abandon those movies altogether, because I feel like competition is always good. I mean, we talk about the WCW, WWF thing all the time. You know, when WCW folded, Vince McMahon didn't care nothing about trying to outdo nobody because he had no competition.
Right.
Competition actually breeds, you know, it breeds quality. It breeds the ability to strive to do better. And although I feel like right now DC really can't compete per se with Marvel in that area, they could at least put, you know, an effort to try. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a properties I would still like to see. I mean, they're working on Captain Marvel, Shazam. They got a few more, you know, movies that I would like to see. But at the end of the day, I think, you know, they need to learn from this mistake, the whole debacle, the marketing, the reviews, the reshoots. And like Larry said, I agree with you wholeheartedly. They need to stand by the product and not be shaken, because they did the same thing with Batman versus Superman. They took aspects from that movie and they edited it. Whoever is actually over the Warner Brothers division, I don't think they're there no more because Jeff Johns is taking over. But the guy that actually, from what I read, that ordered the edits to Batman versus Superman, he was the same dude that ordered the edits to Justice League.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you got to get those detrimental factors out of the way, because if you keep somebody like that in tow, that could spell doom in the future.
If I'm not
But
mistaken,
I do
he was
hope
over Suicide Squad too.
it may have been.
Oh,
but
yeah,
you know, I'm
Suicide
hoping
had a host of reshoots.
And they
Yeah,
had
it
a whole,
did.
they had a rewrite of the whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, at the end of the day, I'm hoping that they make enough money overseas to where if they don't make a profit, they can at least break even and then start from the next phase. And maybe they need to take a what was that?
It's Larry scratching off a
Yes.
lottery ticket.
I'm sorry, man. That was me scratching. I know you can hear that. My fault.
That was a
It
rat
is a
crawling
hope.
through the window or something.
Antonio, we're gonna go. We're gonna shift gears right quick, but I want to go to this right here. Antonio, your thoughts on the Punisher? Netflix.
You know, I really enjoyed it. I mean, I'm just gonna say, I really enjoyed the show. It to me, it was one of those. It was one of those shows where you watching it and it really didn't feel like a Marvel type show. It didn't really feel like a Daredevil or Iron Fist. I mean, it just really felt like a kind of like a drama
Right.
for a while.
Well,
And
but you see, they gave that show. There are people that was giving that show a little flack, man. So I mean, what's your thoughts on people? I mean, you know, quote unquote Rotten Tomatoes, you know, 6.5.
yeah, and I mean, yeah, you're gonna have that because what they're gonna do is they're gonna compare it to what they've seen in the past so far from the Punisher. Which, if you're going off based off the old movie,
Trash.
that's what they're gonna want to see, that Punisher style stuff. And plus, I think people got kind of spoiled with Punisher with the way they saw him in Daredevil season 2, because you only saw him doing just
Murder.
brutal
Yeah.
murder in that show. I mean, that man was ruthless. And in this, they actually tried to develop the character and give you like a backstory about where he came from and what he was about. And people really wasn't too interested in that. They just wanted to see him killing everybody. So yeah, I can understand why they kind of gave the low reviews on it in that case.
You don't have to worry, man, because season 2 has been greenlit, and I think you're gonna see nothing but body count.
Yeah.
Murder, death, kill.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I learned from the Punisher is that he has a hell of a high pain tolerance.
Mm-hmm.
He's a bad man. So that kind of, every time, he was getting his ass kicked. Some aspects of that, especially that last battle. Larry, your thoughts on the Punisher, my friend? Have you got a chance to watch it all?
Oh yeah, I loved it, man. It was just one of those things. Like, I agree with TC. It didn't feel like it was part of that Netflix brand. It felt like it was its own entity, as far as them trying to bring Frank Castle to you in your face. I can't wait for season 2. just so they can kind of, you know, build upon what they started here now. Like, okay, we got the backstory. Now let's get to the Punisher we know. You know what I'm saying? Like, bring out the heavy artillery, man. I want to see bazookas, like on the Punisher #1 when he out the window, he got a bazooka. He got a bazooka on the stairwell. Hey, man, bring out Frank Castle.
Al?
I liked it. That's it.
Xavier?
So, all right. Did I like the show? Yes. Did I love it? No, I didn't love it. It was. I actually enjoyed Billy more than I did Frank Castle. I enjoyed that character more than I did Frank Castle. It just, to me, he felt too out of place at times. You know what I mean? He wasn't consistent, in my opinion. But I mean, and the reason I say he wasn't consistent, in my opinion, so even though they were going back doing the backstories of him, he's already established as the Punisher. He stepped away and then came back. So why was he so reserved when he came back? I know the whole backstory, losing his kids and everything. He wanted to go away from that. He already did what he felt he accomplished his mission, but it just wasn't. It didn't hold me like Daredevil season 1. Now, I know y'all already said people looking at it to be like that. I wasn't looking at it to be like Daredevil because it's two different people. It's two different characters, but it felt too over the place. Like 2 episodes are great, then 1 episode is filler. Then the episode after that, it was slowly building you up, then just drop, then go back up and end with a great bang. I just didn't like it being too over the place, but I enjoyed the show. I can't wait to see how they're going to do season 2. You know what I'm saying?
All right. On a scale from 1 to 10 on the comment hall round table and discussion, I give the by interlude music. I give the Flash 8.5 out of 10. That is
The Flash.
Not the Flash. Excuse me.
I was like, wow, man, he just
Wow.
switched on you, didn't he?
No, I'm sorry.
Bizarro
Everybody
World.
knew that was wrong. I'm the Punisher. I'm sorry. Punisher. I'm the Punisher. All right, let's go to the next topic here. We'll get ready to wind it down. What is your worst Christmas gift that you've ever received? Antonio, I think I know yours.
Ultra Magnus.
Ultra
To
Magnus.
this day, Ultra Magnus will always be the worst ever.
I might have to
Larry.
agree with you on that. I might have to agree with him on that, man, because you bring what you had to put the little white Optimus Prime looking figure into the like, yeah, that was terrible.
Larry, what's your worst gift, man?
Man, I can't say I got a worst. I'm like Vince, man. I pretty much not, you know, I'm gonna sound like the spoiler child, but anything I asked for, man, I pretty much got, man. So I can't say I had a terrible, like Vince. I got some terrible birthday gifts, but not Christmas.
All right, Al.
Some Brute 33 and
Ooh, man.
And hold up.
Yeah, damn it, TC, you ruined it. I was going.
Huh?
I got another. I got 2. Damn it, you ruined it.
Hold up. What was you about to say, TC?
I said the Stetson set, man. You ain't get the Stetson set.
Nah, son. I can't divulge where I got it from. I don't know if any of my family is watching the show. How do you give a 10-year-old boy some Brute 33?
Brute, baby. Brute.
Oh, man.
Did y'all ever? It was this gift set, man.
The green can.
We had the roll on.
Yes, the roll on. And I don't know if y'all ever had that roll on, man. That roll on burnt
stuck.
like,
Yeah,
man,
Never
that stuff
stuck.
burnt.
Oh my god.
It burnt like holy water on a vampire. I know how a vampire felt because when you put that stuff on, you know, you flinching and stuff like, oh my.
You feel like alcohol, man.
It was straight up alcohol,
It
man.
feel like
You
alcohol.
drying your armpits out. That's how you don't get musty. Brute 33. in English
You
leather.
get the spray.
Oh man, the
No.
spray was worse.
Xavier,
man.
what about you, brother?
The worst Christmas gift I can remember ever receiving was them long ass tube socks that had the stripes on them. The ones we used to string people with in school
Oh,
at St.
man.
Peter Clay were them socks. I hated them things. Now I can't find them.
Mine was it was actually two. One TC named one of them. It was the Stetson cologne set
Ooh.
Oh,
and,
man.
and the Paul Sebastian.
Oh, I got one more.
Yeah, you know
Somebody
about the
who-
Paul Sebastian, don't you, man?
That Paul
Hey,
Sebastian.
you talk about stank of stank.
Oh, boy.
I don't
I mean,
think
it
it's
was-
stunk
I
better
mean-
than English leather.
Oh man.
Man, that Paul Sebastian, man, that between that Paul Sebastian, that Aramis, and that Draco Noir,
Oh
you in
man.
bad shape, man. Yeah, the Draco, yeah, the
Draco.
Draco Noir. Yeah, you was in bad shape, man.
Boy.
It's a chocolate covered chairs for Christmas one time too.
Wow, son.
How old were you?
You get the
I was-
royal disc in the metal can.
No, it wasn't even the metal can. It was the dollar change ones that you could get from Eckerd Drugs. That's how long ago it was. Eckerd Drugs. Somebody wrapped it
In the
up
beat up box.
in the Whitman chocolate covered chairs.
Crushed box.
Whitman sampler, man. You got the Whitman sampler.
Oh, man.
No, I got the Whitman chocolate covered chairs, not the sampler. The chocolate covered.
Oh my God.
chairs.
All
I
right.
will say, man, for my birthday one year, man, I had got my mom and dad. They had bought me Super Mario Brothers, bro, and I guess they forgot it actually came with the Nintendo. So I'm sitting there, man, like I'm tearing open the paper, man. I'm ripping it open, man, like I'm thinking I got something good, man. I open it, man. You see Mario in that white suit spin five going up the steps. The Super Mario Brothers, like, didn't this come with the system? Like,
That's an epic shit there, man.
yeah.
All right,
Oh man.
we're gonna move on here.
At least you got to exchange that out.
Oh yeah.
You can't exchange out no group. You got to
You
put
know
that
what?
on.
You got to put that on.
Or English leather.
You better smile.
That's the fox repellent. That
Ooh, boy.
yeah, you repel skunks and shit with that.
Ooh, boy.
All right, let's
The
move on.
chupacabras.
Antonio, what was your favorite book for 2017, man?
My book, man, that I got. I'll go ahead and say, man, that would be my Dubai variant of Black Panther.
Yeah.
That's nice.
You know, it was something I never did think I would be able to get at a decent price. And when I finally got it, I mean, I still take pride in picking this up, man. That's my number one right there.
All right, Larry, what was your pick up for 2017?
Man, you know what, man? I don't even know.
You got too many to pick from.
Right. Spend too much
Deadpool,
money
man.
on a weekly basis.
Deadpool, man. It gotta be Deadpool.
The hip hop Deadpool.
Yeah, it's gotta be that one.
I don't know. Didn't I get I think I got NYX3 this year. So it had to be
yeah.
it had to be NYX3.
All right, Al. I think Al stepped off. So Xavier, your pickup for this year?
I mean, I really didn't have a major pickup this year. You know, everything was just part of my regular pool, so I ain't have a real favorite. Sorry.
I'm gonna step off for just a quick second. Let me step over here right quick.
Oh Lord, he got to
Grab mine.
Yeah, boy. You know, I mean, he finna go get some.
It ain't even Slab City no more. It's like Slab Country.
Right.
The word of Wakanda over there.
All right.
Got the Savage Land over there.
Right.
My favorite
Genosha.
pickup was the Detective Comics, the number 27,
I didn't know it was a 9.4.
9.4.
Ooh, I don't even want to know how much you spent on that.
This is actually a reprint, so one that's expensive,
Oh,
but
okay.
this is a hard to come by reprint. So this is probably my pickup. No, I take that back, man. I'll probably say Iron Man #1. Iron Man #1 was probably my pickup of the year. That was that. I'd say that was it. Al, your pickup of the year. X-Men #2.
I have to say this is probably, shout out to Will of Comics Plus. I'll have to say that this is probably like, this is gonna be the first book that I have, of the books that I have put aside the slab. This is gonna be it. When I tell people I have this, they tell me that I'm lying. You lying?
They always gonna say you lying about something. You know what I mean? Haters.
You ain't got the second X-Men book. Okay.
Haters, man.
All right.
I'm talking about the 1963 #2.
63. This was before civil rights.
Oh God.
Yes, it
All right,
was.
fellas. Let's move on as we're rounding it out. Let's go with we'll continue with the comics theme. Antonio, what are your expectations for the comic industry next year? What are your expectations?
No, man, to be honest with you, man, I hope things kind of pick up on that for it, man. But these last few months have really been kind of stale and kind of dry with new comics in that instance and therefore. I mean,
lift that camera up, Larry.
I mean, Marvel really isn't doing too much as far as anything new. I mean, that people are going to be grabbing on. I mean, I saw they coming out with the X-Men Red, and then they're coming out with the Adam Warlock's getting his own comic in that situation. So, I mean, I guess that's going to pick up on there for it. But, I mean, you see a lot of the independents, man, they're not really doing as well as they were in the early part of the year. So I don't know if that's just something that it's just this time of year that happens. But I mean, my expectations are really kind of low for it, to be honest with you. I hope it's not, but they're really actually kind of low this year. This coming up year.
All right, Al. Al stepped away. Xavier,
No, I'm here.
Oh yeah, Al. What's your thoughts on it? What are you looking for next year?
Well, truth be told, what is that?
It's a Black Panther variant I was showing TZ.
I've seen that one.
Okay.
I still need to get it.
My expectations for the comic industry, man, is to ramp up the competition. I know I've spoken evil or bad or indifferent about Marvel, but I'm still a fan of Marvel Comics, and I'm really hoping that they can get on track, specifically with this legacy thing. Because I really want to, invest in X-Men again, some newer stuff. I mean, they had me when, they had the Extraordinary X-Men book, but then of course they canceled that, and then they went all over the place with Inhumans and all that kind of stuff. But my expectations is that hopefully Marvel can hanker down, after them losing Brian Michael Bendis, like Larry said in the group. That was kind of like, Bret Hart defecting over to WCW. You know what I'm saying? So I think what they need to do really is bring in some writers. They have an abundance of artists, but bring in some really good writers. Now, I didn't realize this, but your boy Matt, Donnie Cates is writing for Marvel. Matter of fact, he's writing
Thor.
He's writing 2 books. Yeah, he's writing Thor and he's writing something else. So that in itself, when I found that out, I'm like, okay, I might have to pick up whatever books he's actually, writing. Because Donnie Cates, for those that don't know, he's actually the author of Rednecks with Image. He also wrote God Country, which was a hell of a miniseries with Image as well. So, them picking him up was a real good, look. So I want the independents to continue to do what they're doing. Like TC said, a lot of independents kind of like fell off. good independent companies like Aftershock, of course, Image, Black Mass, which the only book that I picked up from them was Black, and that's all that's ran its course. IDW, Valiant, and a host of others. So I'm hoping that the independent books, the independent companies can up their game coming into 2018. I'm really liking what DC is doing right now. With the Flash and with the Dark Knight's Metal and the Doomsday Clock, which started off as a really good read. Bringing back the Watchmen into the comic scene. I just want next year to be competitive. I just want it to be in a position to where they don't forget about us. The longstanding comic book fans that's been collecting comics for however long. So basically, I'm just looking for competition, good writing, because I've always felt good writing on a comic book is going to sell any day, even when variants don't sell. If you have a really good comic storyline, Brian Michael Bendis has shown that, Jeff Johns has shown that, Chris Claremont has shown that, and countless other writers. So when you have some good writing, it'll trump, pretty much anything else. So that's what I'm looking for in 2018.
All right, Larry?
2018, man. I'm looking for a X-Men revival. I like what I see with Red so far. I like what I see with Wolverine and this whole Infinity Stone thing. But I guess it wasn't no. It didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out they were gonna make Thanos the big bad for 2018 with him being in the movies the way he's gonna be in the movies. So
right.
Overall for 2018, I just want everything to. I guess this I hadn't seen a drop over the past few months. I guess because, like I said, I get a whole bunch of stuff from Will, and when I get a chance to sit down and read it, I do. And I guess maybe I'm enthused with everything I read, so I guess I'm a little different. But I just want everything to stay as it is. Honestly, I think you're gonna see some things change. I think DC is finna try what Marvel tried with this whole new hero thing they trying. And I think they're gonna get the same backlash Marvel got. I just don't think people want to see, and me and Matt were talking about this today at the shop, I just don't think people want to see anything different. You know what I'm saying? I think when you tamper with their heroes, they strike back. You know what I'm saying? If they were to do something to Superman right now or any of the main characters and made it diverse, anything like that, people have a fit just because it's not what they want to see. But I think they are going to try something along those lines, and I just want to see how they fare with it. But I just want to see some things shaking up, just like Marvel did this year with the different characters they put out. Give us something new, give us something different, and let's see how it works. I guess that's what I'm looking for.
Exactly.
I mean, it's more of wishful thinking instead of expectation.
They got yourself muted, bro.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's for me, it's more of a wishful thinking instead of expectation. Like everybody knows I'm big on DC, but I still like Marvel. I just wish they'll stop killing off the runs that I like. You know what I'm saying? Every time I got into a new not Disney, but a new Marvel story, it always got killed off. So I just wish they'd stop doing that because when I pick them up, I love them and I want more. That's all.
All right. Well, on my end, just more good independent work. I think this was a good year for independent comics and new comics, which I won't give too much away because one of them will be my comic book for this year. But a lot of good independent books, a lot of fresh new stuff came out this year, and just continue to keep it the same flow. So, all right, let's move here.
Let me say one last thing. I want to see Shazam and Firestorm back in the comic books.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right. And Lastly here, we're just right. The last two things here on our last two. One, want to throw this out there. We can kind of stay right on the same topic. No, I'm sorry. No. I neglected to tell you my favorite comic book of the year was Redneck. Redneck was a really good, solid read. Hadn't read the last two issues. So I just hadn't been to the store. I picked to pick them up, and I totally forgot to pick it up today. Matter of fact, I didn't even see it on the shelf. But Redneck was it's been a good, solid read. All right, last thing here is out of all of the comic movies coming next year, what is the movie that you're most looking forward to? And I'm pretty sure that the consensus is going to be the same, the same with the exception of one person. And we're gonna let Larry. You go start with off.
Man, the Infinity War, man, no doubt.
All right, Xavier,
Infinity War,
and Al.
The New Mutants. No, I'm just playing.
Gangrel.
Gangrel and the Wrecking Crew, starring John Cena as Thunderbolt Patterson. But Infinity War, man, of course, hands down. Yeah.
And Antonio.
Infinity War.
what?
I mean, he get him both ways. I mean, he go get Black Panther and he get him again. I mean, so it's a double
he gonna get it.
Yeah, I mean that's leading up. That's gonna roll right
into it. Yep.
Yeah, but I just knew he was gonna say Black Panther.
I think Black Panther gonna have a stupid role, man, in Infinity War, man. So
stupid as good or bad?
No, good.
Like good.
Yeah,
He's
good.
gonna be. Man, he leading the whole city. So
no, I'm looking forward to seeing the adventures of Squirrel Girl.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing the girl that's playing Squirrel Girl.
No, Infinity War is pretty much it for everybody here on this panel. It's going to be interesting to see where they go in the MCU after that movie. So, all right, and last but not least, what everyone hangs around with us, last part of the show for. This is our final haul for 2017, and I'll get things kicked off tonight. We're going to keep it real simple and smooth. We have Good Housekeeping, the Deadpool edition here.
I forgot.
You'll love these nuts. That's what it says right here.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And it's this season to put. This is the season to put the fun back in dysfunction. Yeah. Deadpool. These nuts.
Oh man!
All right. And we've got the Rampage number 3, which is the first reappearance of the Demon.
What happened to Arrow? Ragman.
We have Batman number 47. The Harley Quinn. Well, I got it covered up here a little bit, but it's a Harley Quinn, Joker, Batman couple. And we're gonna flip it over in the guide here. We have Batman number 2, annual number 2, and picked up today in the $30 bin box at Comics Plus. It's Batman 608. This is the first lead-in. It's Jim Lee, and it's the lead-in to the Hush series.
You got a slab and a dollar bin?
The $30.
Oh, okay. Like,
which is still, I mean, technically that is a dollar bin. It's speaking of slab term. So, and that's it, man. That's my last little bit for 2017. Antonio,
I picked up the Del Auto.
Ooh.
That's a nice cover.
Jealous.
I actually had to email them because they actually forgot to send it to me. So I waited 2 weeks and I emailed them and they rushed it the next day. I picked up I wasn't on last week, but I did get the Batman Who Laughs.
Mm-hmm.
Love that cover. I didn't know about this one until I was doing some research on it. I found another Black Panther 166, which
Hmm.
actually has Storm, Black Panther, and your boy on there, Stan Lee.
Hmm.
Where it looks like she's like raining down, like on top of the umbrella on there for it.
Sadly exclusive.
Yeah, yeah. Pick that up. And then my last one was the Punisher 218, which was like a kind of a throwback
Yeah.
to the old one. Pick that one up on there for it too. That's all. That's all I got on mine.
Al?
I don't have any comics. I got an order coming from one of them comic spots. I ordered that Virgin Batman Who Laughs. I think it's Batman Metal #3 is the Virgin cover with the Batman Who Laughs on the front. So I should be getting that this week. I actually have 2 action figures. Bought these action figures on eBay. Little quick story. I'll moved to Columbus, and I had a bunch of crap in the storage unit. And unfortunately, I got behind on the storage unit, so I lost my stuff. In that storage unit, I had a whole bunch of Dragon Ball Z crap. And I actually picked up these 2 off of eBay. And whenever I get a house in a man cave, I'm taking them out the box because the boxes look kind of beat up. But I got Majin Buu, and I got
is that 13?
13.
Super 13.
Super 13. And that's it for me.
All right, Larry, Xavier, anything there?
I got angry customers because we're out of stock of things a couple days before Christmas.
All right. Larry, close us out, my friend.
All right. Let's see. We got Spider-Man 235. The Return of the Sinister Six with Miles' uncle. That's the new Iron Spider. Venom Alpha Inc. Their auto variant.
That's dope.
Book is going for $300.
Really?
Yeah, that book, because it's the first appearance of Maniac.
X-Men Gold 17. The X-Men got new uniforms. Venom Inc. Alpha, their auto variant. Will went back and got this one for me. Daredevil 595, Kirby variant. I don't even read Daredevil. Cable 152.
What's wrong with Cable?
Yeah, he got that's a puppet.
Oh.
X-Men Blue 17 with X-Men 2099 in it. Weapon X #12, Sabretooth headshot variant. Yeah, I don't like Sabretooth at all, but it'll be okay.
That's Triple H, man.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
It's all about the game.
Paul Levesque.
Look, the real Weapon X #12. That's a dope cover there.
Yeah, it look like X-Force.
Yeah.
Is that Omega Red back there?
No, that's Warpath. Warpath, Sabretooth, Domino.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Scarlet Spider #11. I'm gonna start. I'm trying this one. So I don't know how long that one's gonna last. My favorite, of course, Laura Kinney, all new Wolverine.
Oh, are her claws being broken?
Yeah. That's the Muramasa blade.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
I don't know if I'm gonna keep this one going much longer either. Iceman, I gave him a try. Yeah, I don't know how much longer that was gonna stay in the list. Captain America 696, just trying to build up to 700. The regular cover for Venom Inc. Alpha. Astonishing X-Men #6, which is actually You start reading this one, Al.
It's good.
Yeah, it's great. Falcon #3 is actually pretty good too. Falcon, and just cause the Despicable Deadpool, you know, the second printing from number 287.
Despicable.
And the Despicable Deadpool 290. In this issue, Cable dies. I haven't read it yet, so I don't know if that's true or not. I'm pretty sure that it's not factual though.
Old school Schoolhouse Rock print.
Right. and that's it.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to, from everyone here on the panel, we want to tell you thank you for going with us this year throughout this journey this year. And we appreciate all of the feedback that we've received. We look forward to maybe expanding our panelist list next year. We appreciate everyone who has reached out to us via email. We're a little slow in responding to emails because we're still trying to work out the backlog system on YouTube. But we look forward to bringing you new and fresh content next year to go along with the actual show itself. Like I said, we'll be doing some traveling, and we'll be doing some podcasts. We'll be doing in-depth interviews with store owners. For those who don't know, I am a full-time photographer, and I'm actually going to be working on a photography project that I tied in here with the show. So we look forward to bringing you exclusive and new stuff. And for Al, anything you want to add here before we shut it down?
No, man, I just enjoy doing this, man. I enjoy, y'all cats, man. Y'all some good dudes, and it's an outlet for me to geekdom and be around people who understand me.
It's still real,
but, yeah, right. But I mean, on the real, we do this because we love to do it, and we hope that everyone that watches the show gets something positive out of it. If you have any ideas or any questions or anything of that nature for any of the panel, feel free to drop a message down at the bottom. If you're new to the Comic Hall and Roundtable discussion, like this particular video and subscribe to our channel. As Matt said, we're trying to increase and add some more stuff as time goes by. So hopefully we could do it to enlighten and to entertain. But thank you for watching. We appreciate it. And that's pretty much all I have to say.
Antonio, closing it. Any closing remarks for 2017, my friend?
Man, it's been an interesting and fun year, and I hope next year promises to be the same.
Larry?
I agree with Tony, man. I think 2017 was interesting, man. Like Al said, man, it's nothing better that you can do than kick it with your homies, man, and discuss stuff that we all had different opinions about, and we can go back and forth. 2018, I look for my opinions to become more outrageous. I'm gonna be the Skip Bayless of the show, But nah, man. Like next year, we're just gonna have more fun, man, and see if we can bring more to the table.
All right, and Xavier.
I just want to thank everybody for actually paying attention to us. We thank every single one of you viewers, old, new, and future viewers. I'm really looking forward to us building and growing as a group, as well as a panel. And I'm looking forward to hopefully reaching out to some other YouTubers out there so that we can build great relationships with them and just keep growing from then on. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And with that, as we prepare to move into 2018, once again, thank you for another year. We're moving towards year, three? We're 3 now? We're going to year?
Going on 3 now.
3 years, that quick. Of the Comic Hall and Round Table discussion. We will be back the second week in January. We will be discussing Star Wars. We'll be discussing what we got for Christmas. We'll be discussing any new pickups, and we will be talking about whatever is going on comic book related, and of course, we will have our hauls. So for Antonio Coleman, Larry Crocker, Al Rainey, Vince Garrett, Weldon DeRamus, who is still hanging out with Tony Starks wherever he is.
Parts unknown.
Parts unknown. And for Xavier Randall, we want to tell you thank you once again. We want to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Everyone, please be safe. And for me, Matt Odom, we will see you all in 2018. May the force be with you.